Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Super Old Game Saturday, and it's the 7th month of Super Sonic Game Saturday, as you're probably guessing from what we're seeing on the screen. Yeah, this entire year, I've been celebrating the 30th anniversary of the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise with a game a month. And here we are with the 7th entry. I can't believe we're that far in. And this is the first stream we're doing after the 30th anniversary of this franchise from last month. Last month we did Sonic the Hedgehog 1 for Genesis and Game Gear. I'm feeling... gotta keep the Game Gear train going a little longer. I'm running Sonic Gems collection on the GameCube here. Well, okay, it's GameCube only in the US. In Japan and Europe, PlayStation 2 also got it. I remember being really annoyed by that, because I got my qualms with this GameCube controller for a lot of the games that are in this, with all due respect, to the point where I bought a Malaysian accessory called the Cube Joy Box so I could play these mostly 2D games with a PS2 pad. Yeah, that ended up not being a good decision for me because it broke one of my PlayStation 2 controllers, but yeah, in the US, this 2005 collection has a bunch of more obscure Sonic games. We saw on the screen there, they're going through the three main ones, which are Sonic CD, Sonic the Fighters, and Sonic R, and then 6 Game Gear games, and then a couple bonus stuff, which we'll get into a little bit. With that, I think we're going to go into this, and I'm going to do what we did last month with the Sonic Mega Collection Plus, which is show this collection off a little bit, because I have everything unlocked in this, and then we're going to play the game that, yeah, I've been going a little while and already haven't talked about the game we're playing. I'll just go to the manuals thing, because just like the Sonic Mega Collection Plus, you have the instruction manuals for everything. Here's the game we're going to be playing. It says Tails Adventures. It's lying. It's called Tails Adventure. This came out in 1995 from Sega and Aspect Company for the Game Gear. Sega's, battery-guzzling 8-bit handheld, which is basically the Sega Master System as a portable unit. I love this game to death. This is a game that I played all the time in 1995. I was bringing my Game Gear with me everywhere to play this until I completed it, and that's despite the fact that there is no Sonic in this game, and there's also no speed, really, in this. We're getting a little sense of the story in the instruction manual they give you here, which is different from the Japanese version. The Japanese version emphasized the fact that this is a prequel to the other Sonic games, where Tails doesn't know who Sonic is, and anyway, he's attacked by these birds that come and firebomb his island, and then he has to use his, technical skills to defeat them. And we're going to go through this entire game as is. As the manual's showing here, it's saying, well, Sonic and Tails have temporarily parted. I guess, canon-wise, no, that's not the case. And it used to run on this thing, the old Game Gear. And I have mine still, but it is broken. So, unfortunately, I can't show you it. Also, I'd have to get a sense of how to stream to that thing anyway. Probably what I'll do is I'll buy a Retron 5 device, which has an add-on to it. You can put Game Gear games into it. Because I got Game Gear games, I don't want them to go to waste. But for the Sonic stuff, every Sonic Game Gear game that ever came out is on a collection of some sort, so we can show them off that way. And we can also go into the other stuff. We have the extras like with Sonic Mega Collection Plus. You unlock hints for playing the games for a period of time. I don't know if it's as long as the other one, the 3 hours, but I have everything for all the games, including the 2 bonus games. We'll talk about that before we start. And then the stuff for Tails Adventure, mostly about the passwords of this, because this is one of the only Game Gear games I'm aware of, and one of the only Game Gear games at the time I had that had a save element of any kind, even though it was a password. But, yeah, you get that in here, and then you go into the museum. You always get that great thing, that Sonic Gems collection thing. But yeah, you unlock artwork of all the games in here, and this also goes to another thing. You have first Sonic Fighters, Sonic CD, Sonic R, and then all these random pictures that are... I'll tell you, this is something that kind of brings back memories, including this one, Sonic by the Jukebox. Kind of brings back memories of... Actually, a lot of these games were on the PC initially, or came from PC, or had ports to PC, like Sonic CD and Sonic R. And there was like a screensaver thing I used to have for Windows that would go through all of these pictures, pretty much, including some of these other ones, some of which are actual game box art, like Sonic Spinball, Sonic Drift 2, Sonic 3, and the like. But then other stuff as far as, the other characters in this, and even random stuff of, Sonic and Tails on vacation. This welcome, which the way I had it set up on my old PC going back probably 21 years now, this is the first screen in the slideshow of that screensaver, and you can basically set it to play any Sonic music in waveform. But yeah, those pictures are all here, and you unlock them by playing through the games, and the other thing you do is hit the Y button. As you play the games, I think it's as you get through the games, if you play them long enough, you unlock certain things like pieces of music for certain things, some that are references or remixes of stuff from Sonic R, and Sonic CD and other things as well. This one of Sonic 3, let's play this. And then some of Sonic Adventure, Sonic Heroes, and things like that. Oh no, we had to stop. I didn't mean to stop it. So I think there's a way to... Yeah, okay, to hit the Y button. To let it play while you're going through each of these things. There's the old one, the Sega Saturn element of Sonic and Tails playing, even though there's not much of Sonic on the Sega Saturn. But hey, we can still show off some stuff with that, because I do have the Sega Saturn now, so it's just going to be a challenge of showing off, or figuring out how to show it off with the tech reasons I went into with Shinobi 3, which is on the YouTube site now, so if you missed that stream, that was a fun one last week, so we got that going. Then you also get pictures of Knuckles Chaotix, because, as I mentioned when we played that game, Sega wanted to put Knuckles Chaotix into it, but they could not get it emulated correctly for this collection, so they left it out. And, yeah, there you go. But you have other pictures here for Sonic Adventure, which actually, that's going to be the next Sonic game we're going to play. We're going to be doing Sonic Adventure next month, but we're not playing on this system. Oh, God, no. We're playing that on the Dreamcast. Dreamcast all the way. I hate every other version, and I'll go into that next month, but I guess I'll go into that next month as to tell you why I love the Dreamcast version. And same with Sonic Adventure 2, and we get to that, although at least Sonic Adventure 2 is ported better in the other places it went. Yeah, you get pictures of that, of the cutscenes and things like that. Of Sonic Heroes, which was the then recent Sonic game. A lot of Sonic Heroes, actually. And then these other things as far as showcases of things. And then a lot of this obscure stuff. Including this. This is Waku Waku Sonic Patrol Car. This was a Japanese amusement thing that you could get into. You put coins into it, and then you kind of ride around. It does, like, shaking things. Like the little horses you see outside of convenience stores or things, or used to see. Or even the Sonic Popcorn Machine, which they reference in Sonic Mania. If you go into Studiopolis, there's actually a reference to this when you go on that popcorn thing. That's what that's supposed to be. Other stuff as far as, like, the screens of that popcorn thing, and even stuff we went into before when we discussed. Remember talking about Madonna, the idea of Sonic the Hedgehog having a human girlfriend? Well, here Madonna is, but this was all we got. So Madonna did not end up becoming anything in this series. I mean, I'm thinking, just to go into that briefly before we start, I think they were thinking about Jessica Rabbit from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, honestly, with the idea of this character. But yeah, they said no to it, and, well, we don't have that. And this was, I guess, going to be the adventures of Madonna and that weird ghost thing, and, yeah, I don't know about that thing on the left. It looks kind of obscene. Let me get off of that before I get, you know, banned off. Also, you get this. These are little challenge missions for a lot of Sonic games that aren't on this collection. Sonic 1, 2, 3, Sonic & Knuckles, 3D Blast, Spinball, Mean Bean Machine, Sonic... Oh, there's 2 for Sonic 1, I don't know why. But it's Super Sonic 1, 2, 3, and then there's ones for Sonic 1 Game Gear, Labyrinth, Drift, Chaos, Blast, and Mean Bean Machine Game Gear. Basically little challenges that I think they give you a time limit in order to finish the final boss. And you get other promotional trailers, and then when you finish everything, there you go, you get this congratulations. Not much, but you do have some unlockable stuff, and I just wanted to show that off, because I have not shown this collection off in a video before, or, okay, I haven't in a video that I still have the recordings of. I did Sonic 2 Game Gear through this last year, but, yeah, that's where we're at. I just wanted to show the collection off a little bit, just to go into some memories of it that I had, and then also on the games we have here. Yeah, we had Sonic the Fighters, which we played a couple months ago for the March entry of this initiative of mine. That was on the request of Like Person. I thank you very much for that one. That was an interesting time we had playing that game, and I enjoyed that. And we had Sonic CD, which was the first Super Sonic Game Saturday entry we had at the beginning of the year. I can't believe it's been about 6 months since that one. This was based on the PC version. This is not directly porting the Sega CD release, even though it says there's Sega CD. But it is a better version in that case. But then, later on, we got the iOS Android, and then the version that came out in 2011, basically. And so that's where we're at, and that's the way you want to play Sonic CD today, especially because this Sonic Gems collection, I was not aware of this. This is actually really expensive now. I'm seeing this for like $70. Which is a shocker, but then I remembered, oh, it's the GameCube market, and there are a lot of games on this system that cost a fortune now, even ones you wouldn't necessarily expect. Then again, this was late into the system's life, so maybe so. There's a Sonic R, which was the racing game, also on the Saturn, but they're also reporting this from the PC. And again, better for it, because they give you extra stuff to that, including weather conditions. But it's not really that, you know, much better than it is on Saturn. On Saturn, it's pretty good as is. And actually, this collection is cheaper than the Japanese version of it on the Saturn. The US version was like $200, so yeah, not in that case, but your Sonic R in here, and you get your Game Gear games. When we did our last entry last month, the guest I had, Nocturne, mentioned hating Sonic 2 on Game Gear. We have it here. Actually, this is what I used to play that when I did that last year, but I don't have a recording of. It's like, hey, I'm going to play Sonic 2. And I said, we're playing Sonic 2, but we're playing this one. And people were like, I want to see the Genesis version. And the next week I said, okay, fine, you're getting the Genesis version. But you're also seeing what this one is. I'll come back to this using the Sega Master System version, which I have on the Virtual Console for the Wii, which is no longer available, but it's a better version than this, so there's that. Also, here's a game that is worse than Sonic 2 on Game Gear. This is Sonic Spinball on Game Gear. If you thought this was bad, whoo, boy. And I didn't grow up playing this one, but this is definitely a massive downgrade and a year late release for the Game Gear after the Genesis version, but yeah, that's not so hot. Not every game in this collection is great, I'm just going to go into that right now, but the game we're playing tonight certainly is. Alright, here's another one that is, though. This is Sonic Triple Trouble. This is probably the finest of the 2D scrolling Sonics that are, you know, like you're used to. The one we're playing tonight is not like what you might be used to, and I'm going to be very curious to hear if Chad has played this thing. I'm going to doubt it, but then again, that's what the purpose of the show is for. To show you games that maybe I've played or maybe I'm getting requests for. 2 weeks is going to be a game like that when we do Top Gear, to understand what memories we might have and other elements to some of this stuff. Sonic Triple Trouble, I did play this one a lot after Tails Adventure, the game we're playing tonight. This is probably the one I played the most after that, and it is a glorious game. At some point we should show that off, but that'll come in due time. Then there's Sonic Drift 2, which was the racing game of Sonic. As Lickverse pointed out last month, we did the last collection. Sonic Drift 1 was developed by Arc System Works of Dragon Ball FighterZ and BlazBlue fame. I don't know if this one was also developed by them, but this is the one the US got. We didn't get the first one. They gave us the second one, but the second one's way better as far as the level variety, the controls, the graphics, and more characters, because see in there, we have, I think, 7 or 8 characters opposed to just 4 from the first one. Then we got Tails Sky Patrol. This only came out in Japan, and it wasn't until Sonic Adventure DX on the GameCube that collected every Game Gear game of Sonic's that ever existed into it, and this collection has as well. This is a weird fight game, kind of. It's the kind of thing that you're thinking, like, well, it's maybe like something like a Gradius or a Life Force. A little. It's actually almost as difficult as those games, but not for a fair reason. This is a game we didn't get in the US, and I think maybe there's a reason for that, but it might be worth showing off just as a sample. Actually, I guess we could do that feasibly. Show off some of the games in this, like, yeah, they're not so hot. We could do that in Spinball feasibly. And maybe, you know what? Because Triple Trouble's so short, maybe I should do that at some point. Do Triple Trouble and then throw these two in as bonus, because, like, yeah, these games are horrible, and explain to you why. This is the game we're going to be playing tonight. This is Tails Adventure. I love this game. It's more of a exploratory platform puzzle game, almost in the vein of Metroid or Zelda 2. And this is a fantastic title. We're going to show you why in just a minute. But then you also get bonus games in this. You're seeing Vector Man 1 and 2 from the Sega Genesis. Now, I do want to go into this briefly before we start with Tails Adventure up there. This is different from how the Japanese version of the Sonic Gems collection went. In that one, it came with unlockables, or unlockable games. There are 4 of them in that one, which were Streets of Rage 1, 2, and 3, and then Bonanza Brothers. What happened, though, is that Sega looked at that, and they were thinking, for this Gems collection, for the US and European releases, they didn't want the Sonic franchise to be associated with some of the more untoward elements of those, at least for Streets of Rage 3. And the Japanese version of Streets of Rage 3, we'll show that at some point. You'll understand why, because they censored that game pretty significant for the US. But I always thought that was kind of a bullshit argument to a certain extent, because Sega said, quote, the Streets of Rage games are not in keeping with Sonic's family-friendly status in the US, and it would get this collection a teen rating. But then what happened? The day after they said that, literally, I swear to you, the day after they said that, the ESRB said, we just gave you the rating for Shadow the Hedgehog, it's rated teen for violence, blood, and language. And they had to edit that down to an E10. That was kind of a big embarrassment on their part. And they're like, yeah, they're not fooling anyone with this hypocritical thing, with this collection. So they gave us Vector Man 1 and 2, which I'm not honestly huge on Vector Man 1 in particular. It always felt to me a little bit like a bit of a soulless tech exercise of Sega's, with all due respect. But it plays fine, and I've kind of warmed up to it over the years. And I like its sequel much more. Its sequel is way better. Which actually, from what I understand, people don't agree with me on that one. But, teach their own, and feasibly if anybody else wants to get into that on me, was saying, like, yeah, I like Vector Man 1, you're crazy to like 2 more. Bring it, we'll go into it. At some point, I guess we could do the Vector Man stuff. but I'll definitely do practice on both of these to go through them. And if we're going to be doing these, we're not using this collection. I'll probably use the Sonic's Ultimate Genesis collection for the second. And I might use the Genesis Mini again for the Vector Man 1 because it's on there as well. But with that, after a little bit of a 15-minute preview to the Sonic Gems collection, we're playing the game that really matters to me on this one more than any of the other ones. This is Tails Adventure. It says Adventures. They're wrong. I don't know why they call it Adventures, but yeah, here we go. Also, one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn up the volume on this game because I was doing tech checks. We'll get into this briefly. The Sonic Gems collection is loud in terms of how the sound is. Hopefully you're hearing it okay. I did a multitude of tech checks with the mic volume I have and also on the game's audio. It seemed like it was in line, so that was fine. But if it was too loud, let me know, or if not, I'll have to edit around when this goes on the YouTube site in a couple of days. But for this 8-bit Game Gear game, you might think, oh, it'll be piercingly loud running that way. No, apparently not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, well, hit the C-stick up to go into Game Gear postage stamp mode. Then I'm going to put the volume on the game up itself as we get the sense of what's going on. We're on Tails Island. Guess he owns this thing and he's taking a nice relaxing sleep with a couple of flickies flying around him. But he wakes up because there's something going on here. We got this weird, flying craft that's pulling a 1945 Japan on this island by firebombing it. I'm pretty sure that's what they had on their minds if you're going back to World War II. So yeah, we're getting a little bit historical on this game, but I don't know if they've ever come out and said that's what it's supposed to be a reference to, but whatever the case, the place has been firebombed. We have these ducks called the cuckoos, I believe, or birds as they are, with this hulking robot here that's burning the place, and, well, we gotta take care of them. And, okay, we have a continue option. That's going into the fact this game has passwords, which I think it's one of the only games on the Game Gear I played when it was around, when I had the unit playing, that had a save element of any kind. Most Game Gear games did not. We're doing a new game. We're going to be playing this game to 100%. And that means everywhere you're seeing here on Tails Island we're going to be going to, we're going to be getting every single item in this game, and we'll be beating the game. And as far as how long it's going to take, I think that should be within at least 3 hours, maybe. I mean, I know this game very well. I've been playing this for 26 years. This is a case where my Game Gear was being pulled around all the time when I was growing up with this. Everywhere I went after I got this game, bringing this game with me. Had the battery pack charged up all the way to be able to play it for as long as I could, because, yeah, the Game Gear's battery was really bad. 6 AA batteries, and you get 5 hours of gameplay. Yeah, not so hot, but that rechargeable battery pack was a godsend. Fortunately, mine doesn't work anymore, nor does the Game Gear itself, because it's capacitor problems. But at some point, I'll have to get that replaced. Alright, that's the first world, Poloi Forest. We're not going there yet. Okay, for a minute I thought it froze. Let's wait a second. That could be okay. Alright, this is Tails' house. We have dock, equipment. Continue shows you the password of where you're at currently. Equipment shows you all of the items you have. You get a bunch of them. I think they're 24 items. We're going to pick up all of them and show them all off. You start with bombs at the beginning. So, for all you people who are saying, hey, remember when Tails was throwing out dummy ring bombs in Sonic 06 and Sonic Heroes and thought, man, that was stupid? Well, those weren't the first games to do things like that. This game did, but he was pulling out the actual bombs, the explodey kind. You also have the dock, which you can't really do anything with. You can't do equipment already yet because we have to have something in order to run that. And something that ties into Sonic Triple Trouble. We'll get into that a couple levels from now. We'll come back here every so often because we gotta use that for equipment. First start on a Poloi Forest. Yeah, Tails does not move very fast in this game. He's just doing this kind of strut. He's throwing bombs, blowing up the birds. And I remember when I played this game, this goes back to something that was brought up when we did our last Super Sonic Game Saturday entry. Also, by the way, I'm picking up rings. You have a maximum of what they are, 10. If I get hit, I lose them. If I hit 0, it's a game over. But it was brought up by my guest Nocturne on the program when we did it. The idea that, does Sonic always necessarily need to be super, super fast? And I think a game like this is kind of a good argument against that, because this is more like, it's like Metroid. It's like Zelda 2, in terms of the fact that I'm not moving very fast. I have a bunch of items I'm going to be using later to solve puzzles and get to different areas and open up new levels. But even when I was young, I remember this. My mom bought this game for me as a gift. Oh, no, that was weird. I kind of went backwards as I flew back. I think those... Actually, I'll show this off. Those little blimps. They'll shoot fire out. I guess I got hit by that just when it came out, but my mom bought this game for me. I started playing it, and I was showing her as far as what it was, and I noticed, I said this to her, and this was 25 years ago. Can't believe it's been that long. I said to her, specifically, you know, this game is not as fast as the other Sonic games. She's like, uh-oh, did I make a mistake in buying this game for you? I said, no, I really like it. I just was kind of noticing that. That was honestly, in a lot of ways, this is the Sonic game that really made me be the most analytical early in my life. Because I'm realizing, okay, you're looking at this, I'm not moving very fast. I'm just tossing bombs with Tails and flying. You have a flight meter that's upgradable, but he does get tired every so often. If you don't, you know, if you run at a bar, you're going down. But you can also double tap the jump button near the end and kind of abuse it, so you can keep going. But even with it running slower than you're expecting, or also hearing that crushing bridge noise, which is not emulated properly in this version, I gotta say that, but not too bad. Oh, I fell down here, but I can fly back up to get up here and grab on the ledge. But even at the time, it was interesting to think about the fact that, okay, here's a Sonic game that A, isn't very fast, is more about my platforming prowess, and is more about me exploring, yet I loved that about it. I was totally engrossed, and I couldn't stop playing this game for months. There's nothing else I was touching on my Game Gear at the time, because I did not have a Game Boy until the Game Boy Color came out in 1998. So until then, from 1992 to 1998, Game Gear is where my portable gaming lied. It is great to be able to come back to this and show a more unique take on Sonic, and one that, despite the criticisms it sometimes gets, is a really fun one. That's a Chaos Emerald, by the way. What that does is increases my maximum rings by 10 in this case, and it lets me fly longer. So my bar went up, and he's not getting tired completely, but I can still fly up here, and I don't think there's anything up here. Yeah, there isn't. But I can at least show that off. As you're hearing the sound go, we got something going on here. And nonetheless, this is definitely a very relaxing game, one that does reward your exploration, and also, I think in a lot of ways, does a good job of building Tails' you know, character. Alright, here's the first boss. That's that robot we saw in the opening. Just bomb the guy, and be careful the fire he throws out. And you do have some of the sound effects from Sonic 2 Game Gear, because this is by Aspect Company who developed this. The same people who made that. Keep bombing the guy, and just avoid getting hit, and then he's dead. But I was going to say, you do get a sense of Tails' development through the gameplay in a unique way that I don't think you get on any other Sonic game. Also, these things are items, by the way, if I didn't mention that from before. Jump here and get it. This is the remote robot. We're going to be using this one a lot. I'll tell you that right now. But I was mentioning, and this kind of goes to the idea of this, is that Tails is going around. His skills are improving as I go. I get more rings for health, and I get a bigger flight meter, and I find more items that I can use to find more items or open up new areas. So in a lot of ways, it's playing to the idea of Tails' growth as a character of, yeah, he might be nervous or something, or if we're going to take the US continuity of it into account, the idea that, yeah, he's away from Sonic, he has to do this himself, but that he can do it himself, and also that he's very technologically or tech-driven in a lot of ways, or mechanically driven, I should say. And honestly, this was, I think, the first game in the series to explicitly emphasize that. Sonic 2 kind of got into that a little with him rebuilding the tornado with the rocket, but other cases, I mean, this is the first one that really made it explicit till Sonic Adventure. Which I guess makes sense is why we're doing Sonic Adventure next month, but I just got the hammer. By the way, we hit the start button. You can go through the items you can hold. You can hold up to 4 of them. I got the remote robots, the one in the slot, and I also got the hammer. I'll show off every single item just to show what they're all about. As we go through the volcanic tunnel, and there you go. Use the hammer to hit things, but I got hit by his bomb, so that's the problem. Yeah, bust these blocks over there, and they will give you rings each time. Well, some of the ones like this. You have to be careful, because if you don't get the rings by the time they stop bouncing, you're not getting them. Alright, so just keep going through. And I love the atmosphere of this game in particular. You're hearing this with this do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do music, and even just him, you know, grabbing something off the ground and being disgusted by it, or like the fire going. And I'll tell you, playing this game on Game Gear when it was around, and the idea that the reason the Game Gear's battery was so bad is that it had a backlight, so you could play it in the dark. I mean, I remember having multiple car rides growing up, playing this game, and just as we're waiting to get home, it's like, yeah, I want to play something, let's play this. And I could play it in the total darkness without needing a light. You know, the way the Game Boys needed until the Game Boy Advance SP in 2003. Oh, yeah, you don't want to fall on the fire or onto spikes, by the way, because you lose 4 rings. But, yeah, in that case, it creates a great atmosphere, especially for an 8-bit game. And an 8-bit game on a portable unit. which you don't always get. I do really like it. Well, also still, it's tying into the idea of Sonic, and as I mentioned, it really, I think, did help teach me the idea of my more analytical element of gaming, of thinking like, okay, this is a Sonic game, we're not going fast, but I'm having such a great time with it, I don't mind. Okay, now, we have this hole here. I can't do anything with it, but if I pull out the remote robot, hit the 1 button, well, it's the 1 button on the Game Gear, it's the B button in the case of this. You have the remote robot, it goes around walking, and if you press up and the 2 button, or A in this case, it does this flight, and go through the hole. Thing is, that's... Okay, this is where it's supposed to go, but I can't take the robot out, so how do I get Tails through that? We hit the 1 button, anywhere with the remote robot, it comes back. So then what I do is I'm going to pull him out, and usually this is what you want to do. You're going to be using the remote robot a lot, if you've never played this game, to go through holes and just fly around and find hidden items. Like down there, and this is the item we need to get through this. Also going to show you a little something. If you get the item and hit the 1 button as it triggers, usually you lock in place with this thing, but I'll show you this graphical glitch. Alright, the remote robot went off screen, and oh, whoa, what happened? Yeah, this is intentional, but don't worry. The graphics are glitched, but when I go back there, everything will be fine. Well, sort of. You have to take it off as far as... Okay, well, I guess it's not going to be fine, but we can still play it. It's not... The game didn't crash, don't worry, and I did that on purpose. There are definitely a couple of bugs and glitches you can use in this. Alright, so I'm going to do this totally in the dark in a way that's interesting, but here's the thing. I got the remote bomb. What this is you throw that... Okay, again, I keep hitting that C-stick, because when you hit up and down the C-stick, go to postage stamp view, which is what I was looking at it, playing the Game Gear 26 years ago, or the full screen element. But yeah, the remote bomb, what that is, you throw that, it slides. It also doesn't go as far as the normal bomb, but then what that means is that when it goes out, hit the 1 button, explodes on its own, or it'll explode if it hits something. Like, for example, if I throw it over here onto these bird enemies, boom, it hits him and he's dead. You can also feasibly, and I'll show this off briefly, press start, switch to something else, and it'll blow up on its own. But there's no real reason to do that. But use that and you get through, and we're into the next section. And that's really what this game is all about. This game is about going through a section, bringing the right equipment, finding the equipment you need, and then going to the next area and getting through an obstacle that way, and building up Tails' abilities. Alright, now here's a wall. We're busting this with a normal bomb, which you can drop from the sky. You can also drop the remote bomb from the sky that way, too. But yeah, we can't blow this up. There's another bomb. There's, I think, 4 or 5 bombs specific in this game. There's one specific that'll blow this up, and that's the only one that blows it up. We'll see that late game. As we keep going through the volcanic tunnel, and I do need to get rings. There's one over there, but there's not going to be much reason to get it. Also, one other thing as far as the flight of Tails. You press the 2 button twice to fly, and this is the only Game Gear game that lets you do that from jumping. All the other ones make you have to press up and the 2 button to do it, and you can still do that way in this game. So just give you a couple of options. Oh, okay, let's see if I can't get the ring. Okay, good. Yeah, you can grab on the edges of the ledges like that, which is going to be a godsend. Meantime, going through, and I'm getting lucky with the ring drops. The enemies don't always drop rings, though there is an item later we can get that basically will make them drop them all the time. But that'll help, because if I hit 0 on those rings, I'm going to be done. Yeah, I don't lose rings by getting hit in this game, but I do get myself hurt, and if I hit 0, Tails drops dead. So we're going to avoid that. Alright. No, I'll use the hammer. The hammer works like a bomb, you can hit things with it. Actually, the animation of the throw of that, I'll show this, is the same as the hammer. It's just that they put the hammer in the hands of him, so it looks a little more natural. But the thing about the hammer is it only hits things in front. But it is useful hitting through stuff like that. Yeah, for this, though, we're gonna have to have the normal bomb and just drop it that way. But be careful, because there is lava down there. Or lava down... yeah, down there. Though the other thing, I'm crouching. You can also kind of lob the bombs that way. So you have a couple different ways to angle. You can kind of throw it that way, or jump and throw it so you can throw a little faster. And that's going to be the skill as far as how some of the bosses are going to work. Oh, right, and this bridge collapses, so we get onto that. But for our trouble, we found another Chaos Emerald. Yeah, there's 6 of these. You don't get a super form in this game for doing that, but each one you collect you can use on its own, as opposed to, you know, Sonic 2 and 3 and all the other ones, where you need all of the emeralds to get anywhere or get anything out of them. Alright, here's another hole we need to use the remote bomb for, so we pull that out. Get the ring. Yeah, in this case, I actually do have to angle it right, or just throw it from here, and then time it when it goes over that to blow it up. So there is a lot of strategy that goes into this game, which, when I first played it, I never really put two and two together to think that, well, before I played it, thinking, oh, I'd have to have that. But, there we go. Actually, you know, I'll show that off later, because one of the other things with this game is, like some other games like Zelda, or like Metroid in particular, you go into certain levels, you go back into certain levels like this, and you can find other items with the items you have. For what I'm doing, it's fine that we're going this way, so we're going to go to Poly Mountain 1. And this is where the levels are going to start getting a little more open, to the point where you kind of have to find your way through to where the end is. And there's some levels that don't even have an end. So you just go through them to find items. So in this case, we get to fly through, and... oh, yeah, be careful of the spikes, or in my case, I'm not being careful of the spikes. They take 4 rings away, and you don't want to get hit by those too much, or hit onto them. But I have 30 rings, so it should be set, and that also means I can fly longer. Alright, there's another, wall, but I need the large bomb again to get that. And actually, that's an item we're going to need to finish this game, so we have to get that. Not all the items are required, and actually... that's an interesting thing. I actually, about a couple of years ago, I did a minimalist run of this game, saying, like, what can I get in this game, or what are the fewest amount of items I can get out of this playing? So I did that, and it was kind of an interesting case of going through without much health. Alright, I guess I'm just going to be using that glitch. Oh, shit. Alright. Oops, okay. Yeah, I didn't expect that to happen. Alright, I exited the level. Though, actually, okay, I'm glad I did it there. Well, 2 reasons. One, because there's bottomless pits, and you fall in those, you actually leave the level. But I didn't know using the glitch of the remote robot does that. But, you know, let's go home. Because I'll pull out some different equipment. I'll pull out the items that I got. We need the remote robot. We're holding on to him. Pull out the helmet, which is the one I got. And the remote bomb... that's fine. We can have the remote bomb. And leave. Alright, so I'm not going to use that trick with the, or the glitch with the remote robot too much, lest it screws me out of something. Actually, I guess the reason it did that was probably because this level has a bottomless pit in it. I don't think any level that does will do the same thing. I just missed that bird there. Alright, there we go. Oh. Yeah, but that was lucky being able to grab onto the edge like that. And you can just jump into the ledge and climb it, or just walk along and he'll just climb it up like it's a step. So Tails does have some good aspects of it. Oh, hi, Montague UK. Sorry, I didn't notice you there. What's the game we're playing tonight? This is Tails' Adventure for the Game Gear. It's a 1995 release for the battery-guzzling portable unit of Sega's. And this is the helmet, by the way, which will protect you from shots. We have to go up here, by the way. Yeah, I played this game a lot growing up. And it's a game that is a Sonic game that is not really focused on speed. It's more about exploration and me, you know, using the helmet more than I've ever used it in my life. But yeah, it's kind of more of a puzzle platform game, kind of like, a little bit like Metroid, a little bit like Zelda, in terms of the fact that you're going through levels and you're picking up items to grow your skills and to open up new areas. So that's where we're at. Good to see you. Thank you for showing up for the show, and hope you're enjoying this game, or enjoying my memories of this game, because this is a game that I don't know many people who actually played this. This is a very obscure one as far as Sonic is concerned, or even as far as Game Gear is concerned, but it's a game that shaped a lot of my childhood, and as I mentioned earlier, kind of formed my idea of being more analytical about games, particularly the idea of, if it's a Sonic the Hedgehog game, the idea is Sonic goes fast, or Tails sort of goes fast, so I get hit by the spikes there. But this made me realize that, you know, okay, that doesn't necessarily have to be a factor if the game is really good, and I think this game is really good, even though I know people who don't like this game at all. So, well, and mainly it's not anybody personal that I know, it's just that I don't get the sense that people tend to like this game. I'm gonna try and see if I can put the... okay, I couldn't put the helmet up right in time, but that's fine. Just get by his... well, actually, you don't want to try that. Yeah, this is the helmet, by the way, because you pick up items and they'll do things. I want to try and get him to toss that again. Because I want to see if they, unfamiliar with this one. Yeah, that is, the story of everybody with this game, I would say. I just want to get him to throw that so I can... okay, I missed. I just want to see if, Okay, you are protected by it. Good. I just was curious about that, because I never actually stopped and checked. Yeah, this is a very obscure Sonic game, or Sonic-related game. Sonic's not even in this game, technically. This came out for the Game Gear in 1995, and we're using Sonic Gems Collection for the GameCube to play it, which is a collection of obscure Sonic games as is. So yeah, it is not one that's very familiar, but for this initiative I'm doing this year, which is for the 30th anniversary of this franchise, I'm playing a game a month for it, I want to show it off. And show the idea that, hey, this is something unique. As we're waiting for new entries of Metroid coming out later this year with Metroid Dread, and the remake of, or the HD version of Zelda Skyward Sword next week, I thought it'd be worth pulling out. I come up here for an item. Alright, this is Knuckles. Okay, so there is sort of connections with the other Sonic games here, and I guess I can't bomb this wall. I thought I could go bomb that to go through. Alright, so I have to go back. Alright, I'm gonna go unfamiliar with the Game Gear. Yeah, what the Game Gear was is... You know what, to take a shortcut, I'm gonna... Okay, I can't fall in the pit. Yeah, you fall in the pit and you go back to the map, but I'm not gonna do that. You know what, let's just go back. The Game Gear was the portable unit of Sega's in the 1990s. It came out in 1991, and what it was basically a portable version of the Sega Master System, their 8-bit unit, except it pretty much made everything a lot smaller as far as the screen resolution. And there was actually a accessory for the Game Gear itself called the Master Gear Converter, which let you put Sega Master System games into it to play them. Looks like fun, yeah. Though this is how I was looking at it in 1995. Press the C stick up or down on the GameCube. You look at it in the postage stamp view, which is how I played this on the unit growing up. But yeah, we're not playing it that way. Oh, also I gotta try and throw the bomb up there or get through this. Can I? Actually, wait, I still have the hammer with me, don't I? Oh, no, I don't. Alright, let's see. Can I... Uh-oh, did I screw myself trying to get through this? Well, maybe there's a way out. Alright, it is a fun game, but I gotta see that I can get myself through this, or if I have the remote bomb set. Okay, I do. Perfect. There we go. Alright, so I need to throw the remote bomb into the hole that way. Sometimes you have to do that. And that's the key to this game. The key to success here is getting the items you get, being able to survive, because if I run out of rings, it's a game over. And also be able to use the right equipment for the right situation. And as I mentioned, it also goes in the idea of Tails the character, because according to the Japanese continuity of this is a prequel to all the other ones, and Tails had never met Sonic in this one. The US continuity says no, Tails and Sonic are apart, and Tails went here, and then these ducks firebomb the place, and we gotta get our revenge. But it goes into, much more explicitly than the other Sonic games at the time, the idea of Tails being a mechanical genius, despite his young age, because he's 8 years old as far as the games are concerned. But in this game, yeah, you kind of build his skills up by getting more items that are going to be able to let you, you know, get more powers as you go along. So in a lot of ways, it's kind of the... It's an interesting reflection of the idea of, oh, okay, I gotta be careful, because I'm gonna run out of rings and die if I'm not careful. And there's a ring, but I don't want to hit the spikes to, you know, grab it. But it goes in the idea that Tails is... He wants to be his own person, or own fox, as is... Oh, shit. Yeah, you know what? Next time I find a pit, I'm just gonna fall down it and go back to the menu. Or the map, I should say, because then I'll get a full recovery of my health. Because there's not a whole lot of places to recover health. If I made spikes again, I'm in trouble, so I gotta be careful. In fact, actually, this is where it is. Alright, well, I may as well, since I'm not gonna worry about, you know, falling, or be concerned about falling. I'm going through here to get rings. Because unlike the other Sonic games, you usually get hit, you lose all your rings. In this case, you get hit, you lose rings 0. Oh, right, I forgot. The rings respawn. Okay, so no, we're not leaving. I'm just gonna walk back and forth like this until I have my 30 rings refilled. Okay. Alright, I forgot that happened. But, alright, it's a good thing I figured out. But, yeah, this was a unique one to me when I was growing up, because I realized, okay, this is a Sonic game that's not super fast, but it's one that still had a lot of value, and I brought my Game Gear everywhere playing this game as I grew up, and it was quite something, especially when I eventually beat this thing, and it took me months to do it, though we're beating this entire game tonight. This is going to be a full run of this game, 100% run, all the items are going to be collected, and yeah, it's going to be a good time. Hopefully you're having a good time, hopefully you had a good week, and they're having a good weekend so far. And hit me up with anything else you want to talk about regarding Sonic or this game or anything else. I'm having connectivity issues because of the weather. I'll try to re-enter in a few minutes. Yeah, I've run into cases with that. People saying that every so often, and also the idea that... Well, I've sometimes had that too. Sometimes the stream won't go up, but I've been lucky about that recently, so I'll count my blessings. Alright. Alright, I'm getting really lucky with the ring drops, at least from the enemies, so that's good. And I'm at my max of 30 for now, but I can build it up as I go. Oh, that was interesting. I climbed the side of the step there and avoided getting myself hurt. Alright. So here's the last area of Polly Mountain, and that guy there is like, yeah, he's asked me to come at him. So while Tails picks up something dirty from the ground, we're gonna go and get him. But we have unlimited flight here, because this is designed as an area where you need it. So actually, you get this animation of Tails flying, which actually becomes default for when he has more ring energy as you go along. But this game, how this works, this area, how it works, you just fly up. That bird's going to keep coming down wherever I am. I basically just got to go to the side. And you don't want to get hit, because you get thrown, and you'll fall down pretty far. I mean, when I was growing up, I used to have a lot of problems with this area, just because of the fact that... Yeah, you have the wind there. Actually, I don't think you can... Alright, you can abuse the flight thing. And you have the wind pushing you up, and you have the spikes there, but you also have to avoid getting hit by him, otherwise you're falling down pretty far. I mean, this way is not really much of a boss as much as is a chase it. Oh shit, I got stuck on that. That's the other thing you gotta be worried about. Oh! Okay, that was close. Thank God I grabbed on the edge of the ledge there. Actually, I guess that platform is... Okay, no, I can grab onto it. Actually, can I grab onto it? Okay, yes, I can. Alright, but you keep flying and get up here, and we're set. And we press him enough, I guess he's gonna go, and I guess he's scouting for the Cuckoo Army. And I got another Chaos Emerald, so my ring count is up to 40. Going well on that, but there's one other thing that happens when he flies away. I get access to my submarine. Yes, Tails does have a submarine in this game, and he did in Sonic Triple Trouble, the Sea Fox, as it's called. We can use this to go to water levels. We're not going to those water levels yet. At least I don't think we are. Let me see. Or actually, no, we are. Well, you know what? Okay, I'll do one thing then. Since we're back at Tails' house, we do have to go in the water. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back to Polay Forest, and I'm gonna go through, and I'm gonna go get the... Actually, you know what? No, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna come back when I have everything I need to get everything here. But yeah, when you go to a level, you can just walk to the left and leave. And it is a full health recover when you go back in there. Or, okay, no, it's not. Going to his house, I think, is. Alright, so let's go back to Tails' house. We do need to hit the water, so I forgot about that. So go to the dock. Your equipment, you get one weapon to start, or one item. There are 8 of them, and we're gonna need all of those. But we get one, which is the Vulcan gun. And we're gonna hit ready and go in the water. So I guess he took the remote robot, he transformed it or cloned or something, and there we go. We got the Sea Fox, and he's down there going in the water. Now we're going off the dock, going to Lake Rocky. Again, this wonderful, wonderful music here. This wonderfully atmospheric music. Wait, did I not equip the Vulcan cannon? A Vulcan gun? Alright, screw that, we're going back. And from here you just go to Tails' house to get that. And you do get this cutscene as well when you come back of him, you know, jumping off. Oh, actually, no, okay, I realize what's happening. He's converting the remote robot into the Sea Fox. So instead of using the remote robot, like we did on land, do that. Yeah, I gotta equip the Vulcan gun. I forgot to do that. Because otherwise I'm totally defenseless down there, and I don't want that to happen. And since I showed this cutscene already, we're skipping it. You press the A button or the 2 button for running Game Gear logic, and we got it. Alright, so let's go back to Lake Rocky. Alright, now I'll go back into the music, which is wonderful here. Particularly here, it's very atmospheric, this idea of, you know, the mystery of the sea. As you hit the 2 button down here, you turn yourself, and basically you want to aim your drill so you can either run through blocks, shoot the mines with the Vulcan gun, or other things. Yeah, this music, by the way, is done by Kojiro Mikusa, who actually did a lot of work for Aspect Company. Also, there's an item we need to use to break the blocks up there. We can't go that way yet. But in the meantime, we can also drill through the blocks and have them bust that way. But Kojiro Makusa, he did a lot of music for other games of Aspect companies, particularly Sonic Chaos and Virtua Fighter Animation, which was one of the few Virtua Fighter games I actually never played. And he also was involved with some other games as well. He helped, I guess, do the modification of the music in the GameCube version of Skies of Arcadia, because I mentioned this when we did Sonic and All-Stars Transformed a few months ago. But when Skies of Arcadia came on Dreamcast, it was on 2 discs because of the music. I like the colors. Yeah, the colors are definitely the part of the Game Gear that Sega was emphasizing, because the Game Boy was black and white only. Sega came to market and said, yeah, what about this Game Boy thing? Why don't you play a game in color? I mean, that came at the cost of battery, but still, the idea is that that's how Sega was going, and this is one of the best-looking games on the system. And a late-era release, because this was 95. This was about 5 years after the unit came out. But yeah, it definitely showcases a lot of what this unit could do. And it is terrific that way. As well, looks like a game I could play. Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, it is when you get used to it, although there are parts, and we're gonna see that going down there. We can't go down there yet. There's a part there. There are parts that get really difficult. When you know this game, you'll be okay, but I did die a lot playing this. Getting game overs, but you do have continue. Okay, you don't. Okay, there are no continues actually in this game, but you have a password system, and anytime you get a game over, you go to the password system and puts in the password that I think you had defaulted to, I think. Oh, there is a continue option in Tails' house. I don't remember if you have to hit that before the password will show up if you get a game over. I'll look up online, and when this goes to the Ubisoft site in a couple days, I'll have a little blurb that explains to that. Which I kind of like putting those blurbs in, just doing the editing stuff. Particularly because it reminds me of, and I don't know if anybody in the chat's familiar with this, if you ever watched VH1, you ever seen the show Pop-Up Video? Basically, they took music videos and they give you little pop-up factoids and things about them. And you have to go up, but, no, there is a way to go up, but I need an item to do that, so I can't go up. So you have to just go to the right. There are 3 exits through this level, by the way. But yeah, I was gonna say, it's like pop-up video, almost. Some of the others look difficult, yeah. But yeah, as I was mentioning, the pop-up video element, you give you, like, factoids of, like, music video things. I remember one of the first ones I saw was one of the Grateful Dead, interestingly enough. It was the music video of the song that they did, or one song they did, basically entirely skeletons. I don't know if that's one song, or if there's multiple, or if chat knows what that is, you can let me know. But, yeah, I kind of, in a weird way, kind of am thinking this show is like that when it goes in the YouTube site, because I have little factoids that pop up saying, like, oh, if I say something wrong, I can correct myself there, saying, like, oh, I said this wrong, don't listen to me from when I was talking here. But yeah, by going through that area, we get to Carnival Island. We're getting out, and we're going into here. Yeah, and then we're going back into, like, the volcanic tunnel cave element. A little bit of a long level, but, okay, we did get enough power so that, yeah, Tails has that dedicated look when he starts flying. I mean, as far as the difficulty of this game, it's a game that's... I mean, the difficulty of this is not so much about getting hit. Okay, it sort of is, if you're not careful. But it's more about finding where the items are, because I'll say this, if you don't know this game, like when I was growing up playing it, I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know where I was supposed to go for items. I didn't know any aspect of anything. So my thought was, alright, I gotta search for some items, and there's some you need to beat the game. And if you don't get them, you're not beating the game. So sometimes you have to backtrack a lot. It's like the Metroid concept. And maybe that's also part of the reason why people don't like this game or have issues with this, is sometimes like, hey, you have to remember, hey, where to go. And there's parts of it that I used to have problems with, but, yeah, and that way it's more relaxing than some of the other Sonic games to a certain degree. Also, if you go into some of these, water things, you're taken upwards. Actually, this one, I went backwards, so... And you can't go past the, I guess the water stream unless you get hit by an enemy and then it turns off the, water stream. It's a little bit of a glitch. I might be able to show that off in a little bit. In this case, I have to go to the left. But yeah, in this case, you can take your time in these levels. It's not like Sonic, or the other Sonic games where you have like a 10-minute time limit. You can kind of just explore for this one, so it makes it easier that way, but then it comes the idea of like, okay, I'm in this level, where do I go? What items do I need? What items do I need to bring with me? Which, I brought the items I think I need here. I mean, and you only have 4 slots, you can only have 4 items specifically. Usually you'll almost always want to have the remote robot and the remote bomb on, but there's other times that you won't want to, and you won't necessarily know that when you first go to a level. Like, you're coming to Carnival, or, not, I said Carnival Island, that's, Knuckles Chaotix, that's not this game. Oh, I keep saying that C up, or that C stick upwards for that, sorry about that. But yeah, the whole idea is that if you don't have the right items, you'll run into a wall. You're like, hey, I can't progress. Then you have to leave. And that might be something that people are not going to like necessarily with this game. Alright, I'm going to just go up here just because I want to see if there's anything down here. But that does bring an interesting thing up as far as what the challenge like is on this. I guess in some ways, for this game, coming to it now. Because I mentioned I grew up playing this game, but there are a lot of other people who didn't. A lot of people didn't have Game Gears. Game Gear did not sell as well as Game Boy. So part of that aspect is getting used to some of the design of it. And I guess also, and this is something that kind of fascinates me nowadays, 26 years out from this game. Come up here, by the way, you get an item, the mine. We're going to need that to go that lower path in Lake Rocky. And also, that does reset where the spring is, because I do need the spring to get out of the water, because I can't fly underwater or swim under the water, which is something that Sonic 3 would institute for Tails, which is wonderful. But yeah, that's an interesting case of what is it necessarily like for people to come to a game, and even myself, to some degree, come to a game that's older that you haven't played before in a more modern context, and when do you attach to it, or when do you think it's too obscure or clunky or whatever it might be in order to get into it? Yeah, and this is a harder part because you have to, if you get hit, you're falling, and if you don't have a ledge to grab on, you're going to be falling down far. But that's always been a fascination to me because I always love showing friends of mine, coworkers, and everybody in between games I might have played that they haven't. And then also the idea of when did I come to a game. I mentioned we did Shinobi 3 last week. I came to that 13 years after it came out. But it still aged terrifically, so I didn't have a problem with that. Oh, by the way, when you're going down these little slopes here, you start walking, you walk on your own if you don't push the D-pad in another direction. But in the case of that game, it didn't really make much of a difference to me because it felt as fresh for 2006 when I first played it as it did, must have in 1993. But for this game, I could get the sense of that being a little more of a adjustment. Alright, that's, I think, a shortcut backwards. But I need to go down here, I believe. Alright, because I'm looking for... Okay, I think I gotta go to the... Oh, okay, that's the area I was thinking of. I wonder if I can get those bats to respawn. No, I can't. Alright. That's the area where... Yeah, the current is pushing you upwards from there, but if you get hit by that bat above that, you can fall through that, and you can make it. Alright, so I have to go back this way. Yeah, it's more, as I said, it's more of a puzzle game to a certain extent, a puzzle platformer in that you kind of have to explore the area, get a sense of where to go. But alright, in that case, I fell down, that's what I need to do, but I don't want to jump up there, because those will go up again. I can throw bombs underwater, so I don't know what sense that makes, but yeah, it's alright. I'll take the ability to be, attacking underwater. I mean, that would definitely be a case if I couldn't attack under the water. And yeah, I should have done the flying thing and dropped the bomb on him, but I did not. Yeah, but that is an interesting case as far as the difficulty, I thank you for bringing that up. And I've noticed that's been an interest of yours on a lot of the games that you've come to, but it does create a discussion, because there's a lot of ideas of how a game can be very different as far as how its difficulty is. Okay, we need the remote bomb again. This game does love the remote bomb, so, yeah, you're gonna use it. In that case, throw it there with the water current. And some games, I mean, sometimes you'll look at it and you don't necessarily know, is it easy or not? But yeah, in that case, using the remote bomb is helpful because it won't blow up until it either hits something or you press the button. But you use that to hit the birds there. Or try to have it glitch on the side of it like that. Alright. Okay, yeah, I thought he would go into the blast, but alas, no. Actually, I haven't used the remote robot much in this level. Okay, here's one of the items. I'm gonna need this. Actually, that's one of the other things. When you're flying like this, you drop the bombs. You should drop it down straight. If you're moving left and right, you can kind of angle it that way. And that's how I need to hit it, because these are collapsing blocks. And if I fall down there, I'm not gonna be able to come back, I don't think. Coming here, we're getting napalm. So yeah, I mentioned Apocalypse Now in this program. Yeah, we're definitely going to have the love of napalm. We're going to have the smell of napalm in the morning going on here. And actually, we can go back to Poloi Forest after this to use it. Also, because I don't have it now. When you get an item, by the way, if you have all your item slots, you know, occupied, you have to go back to Tails' house to equip it. Alright, so what we're going to do is go to the left. As that's the other change of a lot of the Sonic games. Usually the exits of areas are on left, or on right, but here they're on the left. Oh, right. Okay, I went backwards. Sorry. Alright, we got a boss here, and this is where we're going to need to get another item. Alright, we'll get this, grabby, you know, bird-duck thing. Yeah, he'll feasibly give Tails the bad touch and reach up, but he'll also do another thing. We'll see if he does this. Okay, he'll reach the arm out a little bit. But yeah, he's not doing it. Okay, yeah, when you bust the outside enough, the duck in the middle does... Oh, okay, now he does this. When he does that slam down on the ground, the bird bomb will come down, and you have to avoid that, because it'll go to where you are. But with enough rings, you should be fine. You can feasibly fly over him and be okay, but you also have to watch out when the bomb comes. Oh, and make sure to hit the hitbox because it's kind of wonky, but when you hear that clink, that's when you know you're hitting them. I always love that sound of when you're hitting off the enemies in all of the Sonic Game Gear games. It really gives you a sense that, yeah, I'm really hurting them, but yeah, I'm hurting too, so I gotta be careful. Okay, no, I got him. I think. Yeah, okay, he's dead. And for that, he gives me the anti-air missile. Which is going to be useful when we go back into the water, but now that I have the napalm bomb, I'm going to do two things. Or three things. First, going back to Tails' house to put my equipment on. I do need the remote robot for what I'm going to do. And I'll show off all the items as well, so everything we pick up will be shown off. So, new napalm, we did the helmet already. And remote bomb I don't need for what I'm doing. The Chaos Emeralds, by the way, are not equipable items. So, we don't need to do anything with them. And, you know, let's pull Knuckles out. Or the Knuckles item. You know, let's go to the dock. I'll do the equipment of all the weapons I have for that, just so it'll hold for later. So, anti-air missile, which I guess they spell air missile as all one word. And then the mine. And we'll get some other, you know, spelling errors in this game, which are very, interesting to see. But alright, let's go back to Poloi Forest. And this is where the element of this game really is going into play, because we've been here before. This is the first level we were at. But now I'm more powerful than I was. I can fly longer. I can fly above everything there, if I want to. The other thing I can do is use the weapons I got, or the items I got, to open up new areas. Alright, let's bust these. Alright, now, this is... I don't know if you can tell if this looks right. You'll see in other levels that's grass. You can't destroy it with anything except good old napalm. There you go, it burns. So, again, I'll quote Apocalypse Now. I love the smell of napalm in the morning. It smells like victory. And it smells like me being able to get through here and burn ducks to death. Which is fitting, because they were, bombing my island with fire bombs as well. But you can't drop the napalm from the air like this, so I have to switch to the normal bomb. Come here and get the spark. That's another item we're going to use when we're under the water. Alright. But, actually no, there's 4 things we gotta do here. So that's the first thing, and then there's 3 other things. But that's the beauty of this game. You come back to it when you get other items, and you find new areas, and it gives you that great sense of discovery. Especially if you route this game specifically. Yeah, that was weird. I flew backwards like that from nothing. Although, actually, what happens is those bird blimps, they'll shoot fire out. So I think they just turned on when I hit it. Usually I had to pick up that spring to jump up here, but yeah, now I can just fly up. Alright, so continuing through the Poloi Forest, bombing the birds as is, and, you know, I also pulled the napalm out for one other thing, which is, it breaks the grass down, but the other thing is, yeah, the fire goes upwards and it hits enemies in the air, which is very useful. But the other thing I also do is pull out Knuckles. Let's do it. Let's get that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show this off. Alright, yeah, I can. Yeah, Knuckles is a punch. And you have to... It's a short range, though, and there's also a weird glitch. If you're pressing a direction on the D-pad while you're moving... okay. Yeah, you're going backwards, feasibly. Or forwards. So yeah, it's weird. Honestly, I don't get much use of the Knuckles power-up, but it is nice to see it. And it's nice to kind of play around with some of the stuff, too. Alright, so use the remote robot to go through here and fly up. Yeah, this game loves the remote robot and the remote bomb more than anything. Alright, there is the speed boots. Yeah, so we can kind of get our speed going in this game a little differently. It's an equipable item, and you put it on Tails, he starts running. Again, we'll show off every item we get, so you'll see what's happening with it. Because again, I get the sense with this game is a game most people have not either heard of or played, which makes sense. It was on Game Gear in 1995, which was, I guess, at that point, I don't think people were paying attention to Game Gear with the PlayStation and the Saturn around. So in that way, I kind of like showing this game off, this kind of hidden gem game. We also got the radio, which we could use to listen to different background music. We'll show that off probably in the next stage. But the other thing we need to do here is, alright, go down there and then burn the grass here. Yeah, sometimes it's a little weird because you have to wait for the fire to, you know, go... Oh, that was weird. I don't know if you saw that or not. There was a spring that kind of flashed into existence when I was throwing the napalm down. I don't know why it did that, but... Okay. That's the other benefit of playing a game like this. Showing off elements maybe even I haven't seen. Go through here. It's an exit. That opens up Karen Forest. We'll go there later. But in the meantime, I'm going to go and equip some other items for some of the places we're going. I'm going to still need the remote robot and the napalm. Knuckles I'm not going to need. Yeah, I'll use the Rido. Okay, yeah, they called it radio in that, but yeah. Let's pull the Rido out and listen to that. For where we're going to go next. But actually, we're going to go next on foot. Next we're hitting the sea, and, okay, no. I keep hitting, one off of that. Alright, we're going into the water again. We're in much better shape going in now than we were before, because... I have the Vulcan gun as it is, but I also have the mine. You drop that down, and it hits, blocks and enemies below, but I'm missing every one. You also have the anti-air missile, which... When you press it, it shoots a missile upwards, or if you're moving, it shoots it diagonally. Use that to get to different areas, and you also get this, the spark. Oh! Alright, yeah. I always mention elements of a seizure warning on this game. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't use the spark that much, because it's going to be a little bit of a flash case. I should have mentioned that, but I'll put a warning on the video, and I'll not use it much. Also, you can kind of jump out of the water of sorts with the Sea Fox. But yeah, I got the anti-air missile. I'm going to go up here. This way. And explore more of the level. So yeah, you get different areas. Actually, we got to come here. This is a boss. Alright, we got the Cuckoo Army warship. So I mentioned the World War II peril potential of the fact that they're firebombing our island, not dissimilar to how Japan was firebombed in World War II. But I guess maybe this is another parallel to that, potentially, because we're, I guess, attacking, I don't know, I guess, World War II ship, perhaps. Yeah, I guess, who knew that I'd be getting into history on this, and I don't know if Sega ever confirmed that that's what this is supposed to be a massive allegory for. It might be, for all I know. But yeah, basically, to take care of this thing, it'll ship back and forth like this, just keep hitting them with the anti-air missile, and eventually it'll go down. And I have enough rings, I should be set, and the bombs will not hurt me that much. Okay, there we go, got him. Looks like a warship. I think they must have had that on their minds, but I don't know. I can't really confirm that. Unless I go back later after we put this on the YouTube site to see. Alright, by doing that, we open up the level. That's Green Island. Yeah, we'll go to Green Island. This is also the first level that does not have an exit. Also, you want to bring the napalm here to burn the bees. Or burn the beehives. Yeah, you need to bring the napalm here because I believe there is... Yeah, there's grass. And it looks more like grass in this stage. It's just the way that the, I guess the sprites were in the other stage. Also, you get these, little bird grunts. They tend to give you, fire. Or, rings. Also, the wind's too strong, so I can't get up there without the spring that's over there. So let's pull out the remote robot and fly up there. And push it off. And I guess also the other thing I'll pull the Rido out again. Oh. Yeah, you can't unsay it, can you? When you see no exit, what does that mean? Alright. With a lot of the Sonic games, and some of the stages we've been in, I've gotten to a certain area, and I've gotten through it. Also, Tails' hitbox is turned off when I have the remote robot, so I hit that, and yeah, he's in the middle of that and moved to the side. What I mean when I say there's no exit is... Okay, there is an exit. There's the exit of... Oh, right, I forgot there's a glitch there. Yeah, I'm pushing into nothing. I'll show you this briefly. Yeah, I'm gonna push our way out of the stage. Okay, that is the one exit of the stage, the way I came in. What I mean when I said no exit is that when I get to the end of the area, there's no way out except for coming back this way. So in that way, it's more... The purpose of coming to this level, and Karen Forest in particular, which we'll see in a little bit, is pretty much to get the items here and then come back to leave. There is an item we're going to get later that lets you leave any stage on the fly when you hit the button, but I don't have that item yet, and we're not going to see that for a little while. Oh, and that bee is giving me a lot of trouble. Yeah, I mean, that is an interesting case, and that took me by surprise when I played this, because my first thought was, okay, like a lot of other games in the Sonic series, I'm going to go through a level, it's going to be a linear run through, and then I'm going to get to the end and go to the next one. But that's not always how it works in this one. Although, in some other areas, as we saw, there are multiple exits through it, so I can go that way, then come out, and find another path through, or another item. And I keep doing that. I keep hitting the B button to recall the remote robot before I push it out this way. Because I need it close enough so the Tails can jump onto it. And as far as the items are concerned, there are 3 we gotta get here. And there's one... Okay, there's 2 items in here that are mandatory for completing this game. Alright, there's the wind again. And I think I went the wrong way. Yeah, I went the wrong way. Okay. Alright, so unfortunately I gotta do this again. You know, I'm gonna do it the easier way. I'm gonna put... Actually, you know what? Let's use the Rido. You hit the one button on this. You pick what music you listen to. So let me see what song I should listen to for this. That's for the last level. That's the map. That's my house. That's the, You know, let's listen to this music, because... This is, I think, a remix of sorts of the Sea Fox theme from Sonic Triple Trouble. But... From what I've noticed, I was looking up some stuff for this game just to remind myself, because I haven't played this game in a while myself. But I didn't necessarily feel like I need to practice too much, because I played this game pretty religiously for 26 years, so I think I'm going to be okay. They call this the bad ending music. I'm thinking, I don't think there is a bad ending to this game, as far as I can tell. But yeah, it seems like it's a, alright, that's a... Okay, I fell down here, I have to go back the other way. But yeah, I'll play this music just for the purposes, because you don't hear this anywhere else in the game, and it'll go away when I go to the next section of the stage, or this area. But yeah, I guess it does kind of fit with the idea of, as I mentioned, sort of a remix of a track from Sonic Triple Trouble in the Sea Fox, that sub we ride in. But it kind of has that sound of sort of what it is. We can also, you know, let's pick something else. That's the boss music. That's final boss music. That's the next area we're gonna go to. That's the Ploy Forest. That's that area. You know, let's listen to the, like, Rocky music, because I love that music as is. And I really like the music in this game, especially for the kind of thing that it is. It's kind of like 8-bitty sound. If you ever played anything on Sega Master System or the Game Gear, it has a sound specific to itself in some ways. Also, I want to try one other thing. Well, you know, I'm going to use the remote robot because I need to see... There's an item over there, and I think this is how you get it. It's either here or it's something going ahead. Okay, no, it's ahead. I'm thinking a little ahead. Alright. Yeah, there's really not much reason to use the radio... Oh, the Rido. I can't unsay it. It's the radio, but they call it Rido, so I was like, no, we're calling it the Rido. No reason to use the Rido specifically outside of, you know, listening to music or changing that. But it's sometimes fun to use that. Alright, yeah, this is what I was thinking of. Pull the remote robot here and go to the left. The music does suit this. Yeah, and that's about this game, and I think the music really does suit the idea of what it's looking like. Alright, that's the extra speed. That's another item for the Sea Fox. There's a specific world, or specific area, called Lake Crystal that it's impossible to get through without this. And that's the challenge really of this game, understanding what the items do and when you can use them. And there's one that's a bit cryptic. We're going to see that near the end of the game. And I also need to Yeah, destroy him and not fall on the spikes. Alright, here we go. There's a ring that popped out of it, but yeah, I don't want to take the risk. Alright, I can't fly up there. Ow. Alright. Yeah, the bee is definitely getting on me quite a bit. Alright, yeah, let's pull the actual bomb out and blow him up. Come on. Yeah, sometimes the hitbox on the bees is weird. Alright, so I gotta fly up, I think this way. So in some ways this game is a little bit of a maze, to a certain degree as well. Because, like, yay, how do I get through this area? And how do I get to where I need to go? And some of the obstacles, like the wind and things, like, oh yeah, I can't just fly up here, unfortunately. But I'm above the wind now, and we're in the next area, and we're good. Alright, now it's reverting back to the music that we had for the stage, it's fine. And as far as the no exit thing, that'll also make a little more sense when we get to this area. Yeah, just fly over the spikes there. And you can also sort... Can I? Okay, no, I can't. Alright. Because some of those, not rocks, some of those, stumps there... Uh-oh, that was bad. Alright, I guess I'm gonna run over the spikes a little to get... Yeah, okay, that was the other thing. These rocks, you have to bomb them to step on them to get through the path, but you also don't want to bomb the ones on the bottom. I unfortunately made the mistake of doing that. And don't bomb here, or if you're going to use the bomb, use the napalm, because the napalm will not destroy those, or the blocks down there. But they will kill the bees really nicely. Alright. Oh, I'm going to avoid the bee over there, so yeah, screw him. Alright, now... I have to do both of those things. I have to use the napalm to get rid of the bee, and I have to blow up the wall. In this case, I just bomb the thing itself. Yeah, that's where the idea of the napalm shooting the fire up is very useful. Yeah, there's an item up there. Ow. Yeah, sometimes it's really weird, and that's, I guess, maybe part of the more archaic elements of this game. But for a game from 1995, I think it's fine, and maybe it's also because I know it well. Yeah, okay, right there. Yeah, if you fall on that log there, you go through it. I have to start this area again, so I'm not going to do that. Alright, there are two items here. There's one here. That's the night vision. There's a level we need that's completely dark, and we need to use that in order to turn on the light. Alright, let's use the napalm again. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of use on the napalm already. Yeah, it looked like it was a little delayed when he died, but... Alright, I have to go up there to the right, but the... Alright. I have to go to the left. Or actually, either I have to go to the left, or I have to go up through the log. Alright, yeah, that's what I gotta do. Oh. Oh, no! Alright, I fell down, so I have to go up again. Actually, one other thing I'll show off when I come up here is that if you're hanging off of an edge of a ledge like this, he does that, you know, I'm gonna fall thing. You press down the D-pad... Except here, apparently. Alright, if you do that on something you can hang off of, you know, let's kill him. We'll try this here. Yeah, you'll do this hang. There's not a whole lot of reason to do that, but sometimes if there's enemies over there and they're going to shoot a bullet out, press down, you can save yourself. But, not much reason to do it now. And I guess what I meant as far as, you know, no exit here, this is the end of the area. So the only way back is going to be if I go back the way I came. But by blowing up that wall there and sending the remote robot through, I get the last item we need to get here. Or actually, I take that back. We don't need this item, but I want to get it. Which is... You know what? I'm going to try the glitch now. Or... I'm going to... Okay, I'll go through the... log. I was going to say, if I did that and it threw me out of the level, that would be great. That would be actually a great element of that. I can imagine... I don't know if I've mentioned this... a whole lot on this channel. The idea of the speedrun concept where people will play a game really fast, break elements of it with glitches, perhaps, to get through it as fast as they can, or just play to skill to get through it really, really fast. In fact, I think this weekend there's a Summer Games Done Quick, which is like a series that happens every so often. They raise money for charity to playing through a game really, really fast. I would think that using that glitch with the remote robot is probably a skill of a speedrun concept of this game. But I'm actually not familiar with the speedrun community on Tales of Adventure is, but it does exist. I know for a fact any game pretty much that exists, there's going to be somebody who wants to run through it super, super fast. I mean, I'm not necessarily running through it super fast, but I do at least want to finish this game in one night, and I think I can do that. Oh. Which definitely a change from when I was growing up, when it took me months to finish this, but at that point I didn't know the game, so that was part of the reason why. Alright, but in this case, at least there's the win there. I can get myself out of here really quickly. Alright, so with that, you can go to Karen Forest. I think you can too. Alright, thank you. I don't know if... Actually, no, this is interesting. This is the first time, I think, that I've played I played this game in a case where I was, you know, beating it in one sitting. Usually I come back to it more over time. Just taking a drink of my water. Alright, let me pull some other equipment for where we gotta go next. I think I need the napalm bomb still. You're really good at it and react swiftly, and maybe it's because of all the Sonic games I've played, because that teaches you to kind of react swiftly. Doesn't always work out, but still sometimes it works. Alright, I'm gonna pull the speed boots out for the purpose of that. But... do I want to go to the dock yet? No, I won't. We'll go to Karen Forest. Because there was Green Island over there. There's Karen Forest, which is opened by going through the napalmed grass area of Poloy Forest. Let's go to Karen Forest. Alright, also I get to show what the speed boots are. You press the one button, you start running. Honestly, and then you can jump quickly to fly and take off quickly. There's not really too much of a reason to run that fast, except just to run fast, really. I'm not experienced with Sonic games, but I like what I see. And this is definitely a different change of pace for Sonic. And it's also another case, as I mentioned. This is a spin-off, technically, of Sonic. Sonic's not in this as far as a playable character is concerned. But it's one that I think still has has value to it and is a lot of fun. And I sometimes will, you know, go the other way on that. I mentioned when we started, I'm looking through the Sonic Gems collection, which has Tails Sky Patrol, which is not a good game at all. And I mentioned Shadow the Hedgehog, which we played a couple months ago, which is a game that's a spin-off too, but I'm not as forgiving of that game's flaws, and also even the idea of that being a spin-off, because this one is more realistically a spin-off than Shadow the Hedgehog is, because Shadow the Hedgehog is tying into Sonic Adventure 2 pretty explicitly with its story, whereas this one isn't, and there's issues with camera and control, and even crash bugs out of that game. But I still like playing that when we did it, and that's one I have up on the YouTube site. That is interesting to watch, because it's a game that has a path system, and I had the chat that was on when we played that game basically tell me what they wanted to see, and... Uh-oh, did I... Okay, no, I didn't. Alright. I thought, did I need to bring the remote bomb with me to get that broken, but apparently not. Alright, yeah, there's an item there, but I can't get it yet. But there's another item up there, and I need to... actually... Okay, I'm thinking ahead. I need to push that spring out so Tails can get up to the item above. And I gotta bomb that area to get the other item. Alright, so I gotta go down. I mean, honestly, with this game, as I said, that's the other thing. It's a little more... It's less linear than some of the other Sonic games. It's like, okay, I have to go different directions, and they basically force you to have to do that, as opposed to some other ones where it's more of just, oh, if I go this different path, I can find something else. Or in this case, I'm going this way to find items, too. And actually, speaking of Sonic, here he is. This is an item. This is actually an item I use a lot. Even though I've been saying this is a game that is slower for Sonic, I still use this item all the time. Oh! Yeah, I don't want to... Uh-oh. Okay, the wind's pushing me down. I'm gonna be forced out. Alright, yeah, I wish that had not happened. But, alright, fine. I guess I can pull Sonic out then. I'll do two things. I showed that. I'll pull Sonic out as far as the item. As far as this item... You know, I'm gonna pull out... You know what? Now I can keep that. I don't need the napalm here. So let's pull the remote bomb out, just so I'll be set on that one. Let's go back to Karen Forest. Yeah, this is not... Here's the thing about this game in particular. Falling out of level does not kill you, thankfully. It just takes you back to the, Main Street... Oh. Okay, yeah, never mind. I did need that. Alright, this is Sonic, by the way. Press the 1 button, you do a spin dash, you let go, and you dash off at fast speed. So yeah, if you don't like how slow this game can be compared to some of the other stuff, pull that Sonic item out. Alright, actually I did need a Napalm Bomb, I forgot about that. So, alright, Napalm Bomb we put here. Alright, so back to Karen Force we go. We're gonna get through it for real this time. And there is an item in Area 1 that I forgot to grab. Actually, since we have to come out of here anyway, like Green Island, we don't have an exit at the end of it, so we have to come out to the beginning as it is. Or we can feasibly fall in the pit again, but, I think for this, we should be fine. Alright. Actually, you know what? Yeah, you know what? We're gonna fall in the pit at the end of it. So let's pull the remote robot up here, because there's a spring here that will get me another item, and, you know, I'll push it this way. You could usually have Tails push it, but if I pull the remote robot away, I think the spring will despawn, so I gotta push it this way. Yeah, this definitely is a strong robot being able to push this baby. Oh, whoa, whoa. Actually, one other thing is... yeah, I don't know if I can get this. I'm gonna have to jump on this very specifically on the end there. Okay, to get up there. Or, okay, maybe not. Actually, actually, no, there's an item I need to get that. Actually, I'm gonna have to come back here. Yeah, so that's what I'm sometimes thinking, is that sometimes you need specific items to get to specific areas, and you have to be cognizant of that. Unfortunately, I wasn't. I missed an item in Poly Mountain 1, so we'll go back there later. I'll just get the one item at the end of this area, and we'll be good. And you hear the elements of, like, the Game Gear, I guess, Sega Master System sound of, like, the elements of some of the percussion that... Or in those high-pitched, you know, sorta, I guess, whiny, you know, instrumentation, but it's weird, and I mentioned this, I said, for the recording of this, oh, so you can spin dash into the ducks and kill them. But, as I was saying when I started the recording of this, the collection I'm playing this out of has the volume really, really loud that I had to basically adjust it, or I adjust it, but also for this, it's a lot quieter. Do you control both characters? You mean as far as Sonic? I mean, okay, what this is, this is an item, basically. I use this and Tails goes into a ball like that, and I do the spin dash. But I guess I get into my inner Sonic technically for that. You know, to have that. Although that would be an interesting idea of, you know, controlling... Oh, that was weird. Saw that, right? Kind of went into the ceiling. Okay, let's put Tails here, and I'm gonna go the other... Oh, wait a minute. I have to go the other way. Because I have to blow up that wall. Or that little tiny block. But yeah, what happens is it's just an item that you use to get to another area, and hopefully I can get through the... You know, let me try this again. I was gonna say that is an interesting idea of controlling one multiple characters in one case. Okay, good. Yeah, thank God you can land on platforms. But yeah, get the wind here, which gets in your way. But yeah, there are a couple games I've played that do that, or I've heard of that do that. There's a game called... I don't think I've played this. It's called... God, I think it's called Brother, A Tale of Two Sons. Or Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons, I believe. It's an indie game. I believe it's on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, and I think they ported it to PS4 and Xbox One. Where you're basically controlling two characters at once. And the idea of that is that you're, I think, using... You have to kind of either switch between them, or you're controlling them at the same time. And there's also another game I'm thinking of called The Adventures of Cookie and Cream, which was on the PlayStation 2. It was actually an early game developed by From Software, the team who makes Dark Souls. Interestingly enough, and it's this very cutesy game where you use both of the analog sticks on the PlayStation 2 to control two characters. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. When you do the spin dash, if you pull in the opposite direction, you do the skid to stop like the other Sonic games. So you do get some elements. I mean, you do hear that sound for the spin dash, so you get that element going too. Alright, so now, here we go. Perfect. Okay, so I needed that blown up. So yeah, take the robot. We're going all the way back to the other side to push the spring out so you get the item on the top of this. Also, if I fall with the remote robot here, I'll just go back to Tails sunset. Also, the remote robot has infinite flight. And actually, I don't have to go backwards. I lied. Because I blew up the... Okay, no, I didn't. I blew up the blocks on the sides. If I blew up the ones on the top, I'd have to go backwards. But yeah, the flight is infinite for the robot, so we're all set that way. So yeah, I do have to go all the way around. So it kind of becomes more of a puzzle element of, okay, here's an obstacle I have to get through. Here's a barrier or something. Do I have the right equipment to get through it? And also, what do I need to do in order to get through it? And how do I necessarily use, you know, my items in the right way? In this case, the remote robot to push the spring to the other side so the tails can get up there. Because the reason I can't go up there is because the wind blocks the way. If I fly, you'll see the leaves there. And then I can't fly up. Tails has strong flight capability, but yeah, he is 8 years old, so he can't handle those winds necessarily that well. Alright, there we go. Perfect. And actually, I do need the remote robot again. In this case, it probably is good I brought the remote bomb as well, so I can roll the bomb into the hull and go in here and get the proton torpedo. Oh, shit. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I was a little afraid there, because Again, I did that glitch with the remote robot being recalled when you do it on an item. I got stuck in there. I thought, oh shit, did I get stuck? I mean, I guess if I got stuck, you know, I'll show this off. Hit the Z button. There is a reset game button. And you can use that. And also see the hints. Do you ever run out of weapons? No, you do not. The weapons are infinite. You know what? Since we got everything there, and I need an item to get the last item here, we're jumping down. Actually, let's go back to Poly Mountain 1. And this is the other thing of having the Sonic item. I just go really fast. Except, yeah, it's very specific sometimes when you hit the ducks that way that, you know, you'll get hit if you're not careful with them. Okay, in that case, I got lucky. But yeah, you don't run out of the weapons energy. You can keep using them as many times as you want. And that we can't get, so we'll come get that later. Alright, the item I was thinking was actually through here. I was so preoccupied with the fact that I didn't have the rings to get through. I forgot to go, yeah, right there. Oh, yeah, that's weird. Alright, there we go. That's the super glove. That's what I need to get that item out of Karen Force. And since I'm kind of close to it anyway, we'll go the other way. Cool move. Yeah, I guess sort of cool, sort of glitchy, as you saw there, because I got stuck in the ceiling again. Maybe that's the other thing about this game, which is that, yeah, there's definitely some glitch elements, although nothing I'm seeing where the game is crashing, thank God. Although I'm really tempting fate on that with the fact that I have, you know, all the stuff with the remote robot. Yeah, and I'm being completely completely being cavalier going this way, but yeah, I'm in the air, it doesn't matter. Whoa! I'm near the beginning of the stage anyway, so I don't care that I'm getting myself hurt. Alright, there we go. Alright, so we're good there. Yeah, since it's early on in Karen Force, let's go back here. Oh, wait, no, I have to equip it first. Alright, so no, we're not going there. Alright, so go back home. Yeah, I keep forgetting that 4-item limit, which, I mean... I guess if this was like Zelda and you had all your items, you feasibly... It would probably be a bit shorter. But then again, I guess also this is the first run. No, okay, I do need that. Yeah, let's show the Super Glove out. Oh, yeah, okay. I was just trying to think if I needed anything else. But got back to Karen Force for the last time. Yeah, in that case, it also made me go a lot faster. Actually, you know what? I can just... Okay, you know, because I want to show off what this item is, and I need this item to do this anyway, so... Pull the remote robot out, go around, and bring the spring back. Because when I pushed it over with the remote robot, it got stuck here, but there's something else I need to use in order to get it in the center. Alright, there we go. So, usually you push it like I've been doing, or you do that glitch where I'm pushing in the opposite direction like that. But basically what you do is, you push into it on the left, and then you instantly push the other direction. Or I go backwards, okay. But, yeah, alright, so I get to have fun with glitch elements of this. But yeah, if you have the Super Glove, walk next to an item, pick it up. Yeah, so you need an item to pick it up. Yeah, Tails has his hands full thrown, or holding this. But if you hit the button again, or if you hit the 2 button, he throws it. And you're able to get it out in the center like that. But if you hit the 1 button, or the B button, in this case, it just drops it. There you go. And I need that to get up here because there's wind. Also, I do have the Sonic item out. I do want to be a little careful that there's not anywhere to fall from. Alright, there's an item thing up there. Some blocks. That's intended to come down from, so there's not really anything I can do about that. So I have to go around. You know, yeah, let's use the glove again. You have to walk next to it and then pick it up. Actually, oh wait, no. Okay, oh no, I do need this, because, yeah, pick it up again, and we're gonna take it off. Or walk off the edge and have that happen. Okay, because what I need to do is I need to... Yeah, throw it over. Yeah, right, because... Okay, now I remember. I have to take it over here. Yeah, and I will go up by throwing it. So I guess you do need the super glove here. Oh, did I screw myself out? Let me see. Can I do this with Sonic? Right, to throw a bomb into that, but none of the bombs I have... We're gonna do it. Oh, no. I mean, if nothing else, I'm showing off where the struggle of this game comes from as far as its difficulty is concerned. Because sometimes you have to remember yourself, like, oh yeah, I only have 4 items, I can only do a couple things that... Actually, I have this here, I can just pick this up again. Alright. And put it over the side. Oh wait, that's it. Okay, I was thinking ahead. Alright, so I don't need to go up here. That's where the item is. That's the triple bomb. That's going to pretty much replace our normal bombs. There's going to be no reason to use the normal bomb anymore because of that, because this is basically a better version of it. Okay, no, I can go out this way. Yeah, you use the bomb to go up the top so you can get out. Or you can go the way you came. And then you use the Sonic item to spin dash and get through it really quickly. So yeah, this isn't a very fast game, but I can turn it into one. Alright, so we're done with Karen Force, we're done with Green Island. I need the large bomb there to get that. Alright, well, let's go to the water. We'll go to the water, but also equip stuff for when I get out. So need that. Right, because I need to open... Oh, let me see, what other items do I have that haven't shown? No, not much. I might still need the remote bomb, so I'm gonna hold on to that one. Oh, let's go to the dock. Alright. I'm not going to use this because of the flashing. Alright, okay, I do need the extra speed. I'm not using the mine yet. There's one item I need to have in order to go through that area safely. We'll put the mine on anyway. And go to ready and hit the water once more. Alright, back to Lake Rocky again, and this time... I went up at the start of this area. I'm gonna go to the next area, and then I'm gonna go up again. And also gonna pull out the proton torpedo. It's basically a better version of the Vulcan gun, because it shoots that out, and it moves very fast, and it'll hurt things really quickly that way. And I'll destroy blocks that way, but that's fine. Alright, so... Alright, I'm trying to remember if I have to go up now, or I go up later. I think it's a little later in the stage. Ow. Yeah, that won't hurt me too bad. I just lose 1 ring, but there's 1 area, and we're gonna go through this a little later, where, yeah, it's gonna be... There's gonna be things that can hurt you way more, and actually, they hurt you more than anything in this entire game. And there's 1 item you need to get through it, and I don't think you can get through it without it. If you can, and I'm wrong about that, I'll put a comment in the YouTube video, or this stream when it uploads to the YouTube video in a couple of days. Because if you're new to the show, just to remind you, or either to remind you if you haven't seen the show in a while, or to let you know if you're new here, this is a stream I do every Saturday night at 7 p.m., but then what I've been doing is, because I know people, personally, and other people who've come and watched the show, who said that either I can't stay the whole time, I can't make the time you're doing it, or I want to see it later because I might have missed something, or I want to, study it, perhaps. I put it on the YouTube site. There's a link to it in the Twitch window element of where I'm pointing towards my computer screen. But yeah, we're going to go up now, in this case. But it'll go up there, and I put the little comments, as I mentioned. enjoy more of this and see these little flashing eye specks of the level. Yeah, you do need the anti-air missile to get through this. And get the rings. Let me get the other one because I have a max of 50 right now. Actually, I realized there are only 6 of those Chaos Emeralds to extend your rings. There's only one more, actually. But we'll get that a little later. Yeah, we're going backwards then, feasibly. Oh, right. Oh, right. Yeah, that's one of the things that hurts you a lot. If you hit those, you know, I have 30 rings. I can show this off or survive showing this off feasibly. Yeah, if you get hit by the mines coming down, they take 5 rings away. There's another area that takes 10. It's not pleasant to go through that. Alright, but by going this way, we're gonna get to the end. I don't think there's anything that can hurt you here. Okay, aside from the mines. Oh, right, and those enemies up there. I can shoot them with the anti-air missile, but I'm just gonna avoid them. Oh, but they hurt a lot, too. I didn't know they hit that hard. Alright, yeah, we're jumping out of the water quite literally. Well, okay, sort of. We're going to Lake Crystal, but... Alright, here's the thing about this. I unlocked Lake Crystal, so it's like another level on land. So I don't need to go through Lake Rocky again to play it. I'm going back to my house to get health. Because every time you go back to Tails' house, you get a life recovery. Or a ring recovery, as is. So there we go. Alright, now this is basically a 2D thing. I'm on, I guess, a rapid river area. I'm just going to the right and jumping. Yeah, I know I have a jumping sub. Who knew? And this kind of frantic piece, but here's the other thing about this, and this is why I needed this extra speed item. I can't jump up that high, but if I hit the 1 button... You hear that? That increases your speed, and if you hit the jump button... Here, you jump higher, but you also want to time it at the end, till the end of that charge up. Oh, and avoid the ducks there. And you jump higher. There's one area you need to use that at. And also, I need to switch to my weapon, so don't die here. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm not doing that great on this, especially because it hurts a lot. Yeah, it's right here. You have to time this very specifically. When you hear the last part of the sound effect for the extra speed, you have to jump at the end. Yeah, like that. But I think you also have to be moving fast enough. Yeah, like that. There we go. Perfect. Actually, no, it is good I have the air-to-air missile now, because, yeah, hit him that way. And hope I get some ring drops off of this. Difficult? Yeah, I forgot how hard this is, honestly. This is one of the areas of this game I didn't really practice that much. I mean, honestly, the only thing I did as far as timing, or, practicing this game is just checking the audio. Actually, alright, that is the other benefit of the extra speed. I can basically go to the right of them and avoid getting hit by them altogether. Alright, there we go. But this is really the only place in the game you're going to use this. Because this doesn't do anything when you're underneath the water. And this is the only level where you're going sideways. Uh-oh. Alright, I gotta pull out this. Because, yeah, if I get hit too many more times, I'm getting the game over, and I don't want that to happen. Yeah, basically just jumping and shooting. And the proton torpedo sometimes does go in a little bit of an arc like that, going upwards or downwards. So, in that case, you can then decimate them. Alright, that open Poly Mountain 2, I definitely want to go home for this because A, I need health, and B, there's an item I need to get through this. Alright, I got the triple bomb, that's fine. The remote robot, that, and the other item. And this is another thing as far as this... I'm using the night vision. And this goes to one other thing, as I mentioned, with the extra speed. One thing about the items in this game, there are a lot of items that are very situational. You're only going to use them once, and for one purpose. And here's one of them. It's dark in here. I could feasibly run through this level without seeing where I'm going. But if you have the night vision, there you go. We're getting, the red infrared element going on, and seeing the power of the triple bomb, which just blows things up massively, and you can still drop that out when you're flying. Also, I think it's good I brought the remote bomb out here so I can throw the bomb here across the lava. Thankfully, it doesn't blow up on the lava. Open that path and pull the remote robot out. Alright, that's the item radar. Hold on. Okay, no, I need that. Yeah, I'll show the item radar later. What that does is that you use that in an area where there's an item, and it'll... Or where you're close to an item, and it'll tell you that you go to beeping to let you know that it's kind of close. Again, kind of situational, but it helps to kind of understand where everything is. But every time you go to a new section here, you need to pull the infrared goggles out. Actually, going back to 1995 as far as something... This kind of reminds me of, and I guess I've mentioned this before, I'll go into this again with the chat, and tell me if you remember this or have ever used this. Another sort of portable console, the Virtual Boy, which came out in 1995 from Nintendo as their only official flop of a console. What it was, if you're not familiar, it basically kind of looked like this in the sense it's those goggles, they put it on a stand, you look into it and you have a controller connected to it, and you play games off of it in red and black like this. It was a console that did not do very well. In fact, they discontinued it after only a year. And there's an item down here, which is why I'm doing this. But with that, it kind of created the perspective of they were going for virtual reality, but they did 3D stuff with it. And the effect was really interesting, but it was also something that initially was thought was going to be a portable system, kind of like the Game Boy was, but then people realized, no, this thing is not safe to be used as a portable device. And it's also something they said, yeah, if you're under 7 years old, don't use this because it can cause, you know, eye strain or headaches. So that was the other reason I think about it. Alright, that item, by the way, the Fang. That is, Fang the Sniper, or Knack the Weasel, as he was called in the US. He was in Sonic Triple Trouble for the Game Gear. The item of him is a good luck charm. You use it, it's not an item you use. But if you have it on your person, what it means is that every time you kill enemies, your chances of getting a ring off of them that'll recover your health are much higher. It almost always gives you a ring. It's very rare I've seen it not do that. But I'll still show that off just to show what it does. Yeah, like that. You basically see that happen all the time if you have the Fang item, or the Knack item, as I call it. Because, yeah, it was Fang the Sniper for Japan, but Knack the Weasel for the US. I need to get up there somehow, blow that up somehow. Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, use the remote bomb. Alright, so it's a good thing I brought that then. I just gotta climb to the top of this interior mountain. It is probably Mountain 2, so yeah, I guess we're going inside the mountain now. Yeah, this area. There's wind there, they'll keep me down, but I also have to throw the bomb there to make a path going forward. But don't hit the bombs, or hit the bomb on the bottom there. Otherwise, uh-oh. Okay, I think I already screwed myself out of this. Unless I get lucky. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have brought the triple bomb here. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go down here. This takes me back to the other area, but if I fly up, I think if I fly straight up, I think I still get back. Okay, no, I can't. There's wind. Alright, so I just have to go around again. And, you know, I'll use the remote bombs when I get there. So yeah, I guess I'm being a little reckless with this game, despite talking it up as this, you know, more, not cerebral exactly, but more methodical game. I'm still having a good time playing it because I adore this game. I think maybe that's why I hold in such high regard. Because it's a game that I get a sense people haven't played that much. And also one that did kind of grab my attention for the idea of teaching me the idea of Sonic being a different concept with every game. And the idea of this being not what I think a lot of people would expect out of it, but still being a good game in its own right, and an underrated title that is kind of perfect for the Super Old Game Saturday show, which has always been my perspective of wanting to show off games that people tend to not talk about much, or games the chat wants to see that tend not to be talked about. Was this not as popular? Not really. This came out in 1995, near the end of the Game Gear's life. At that point, the PlayStation had either just come out, or was just coming out. The Sega Saturn had just come out, or was just coming out. And I think most people, when it came to the portable systems, they were playing Game Boy. They weren't playing Game Gear that much. So, it didn't really get a whole lot of things going. I mean, because I had a Game Gear, I wanted to play it because it was Sonic connected. So that was the reason, or connected to the Sonic franchise. So at that point, that's why I played it. Actually, it's one of 3 Sonic-related games that came out at the time. The other 2 being Sonic Labyrinth, which I mentioned before. That's another game that people don't like, although they have more of a reason potentially not to like that one, because it's a little clunky in terms of how it plays, more than this, for sure. And then Sonic Drift 2, which was a kart racing game, kind of like Mario Kart, actually. But it was only on Game Gear, it was not on, like, Genesis. You'd think with something like that, they'd put it on Genesis where more people would play it, but no, they didn't. They put it on this. Alright. I'm doing better with this now. I guess the other thing feasibly is, yeah, okay, no, that's fine that I did that way, but yeah, that remote bomb is helping. I think maybe the other thing is that, yeah, I think it's more the Game Gear perspective. Not that the Game Gear was a sales disaster or anything, because it was around for like 6 years on the market, but Game Boy did sell way better than it. Despite the fact that it didn't have color or the backlit screen, but Game Boy had longer lasting battery life, number one, and number two, the Nintendo element of that got people to want to play it more feasibly. Although, this did carve out a bit of a niche as far as a portable market. In fact, I would say, along with debatably the PSP, I'd say debatably because handheld system, yeah, basically the idea of, well, for example, like the Switch now. That's a system you can play at home, in a dock, and they just announced that Switch OLED unit, basically it's a bigger screen. It's not the Switch Pro unit people were asking about, but the other thing about that unit is that you can play it as a handheld. You can put, like, grips on the side of it and take it anywhere and play it. The Game Gear and the Game Boy and other portable units in the 90s and in the 2000s as well were like that. Alright, that's the large bomb. We need this to get to some certain areas. But basically what it is, like, pretty much the idea is that usually, and me growing up especially, I'd have a Sega Genesis at home, but I can't bring the Sega Genesis with me because I need a TV to play on it. So I had Game Gear. And people had Game Boy in particular as well for something like that. So you can play a portable game on the road or on a plane or when they're out, when they're not having access to a television at a place either they're living or visiting. So that really was kind of the point of that, and Nintendo just dominated things with the Game Boy because of, I guess, the Game Boy name, the games on it, and also, I guess, just the idea that it was cheaper than this, and it didn't suck the batteries out nearly as quickly as this unit did. But this did carve a niche out because of the fact of Sega's connection in the gaming industry at the time with the Genesis, and just the thought of, you know, people wanting to have that Sega style on the go. I mean, actually, I'll tell the story. This goes back to my grandfather, may he rest in peace, and I've mentioned him a couple times with the Sonic streams. I mentioned when we did Knuckles Chaotix on the 32X, we couldn't get that set up when we tried to set it up. Actually, the same year this game came out, in 1995, and he had, like, backgrounds of stuff with technical, you know, gizmo elements, and even he said, this thing doesn't work. So, it was kind of an interesting case when years later I got one, I was able to get it working. He was like, oh my god, I can't believe that, and he was really impressed. But anyway, alright, one thing I'm going to do while I'm telling that story is I'm going to go to Poly Mountain 1. But yeah, to go back to that, he knew I loved this franchise in particular in 1992, because I had the Sega Genesis, and he said, well, I want to get him something for Christmas. My brother told me this story years later. He said, let me get him a portable unit. I was like, let me get him a Game Boy. And my brother said, you know, he's a big fan of Sonic. There is the Sega unit, the Game Gear. He's like, oh, you're right. He's like, that's great. He's like, let me get him that. And then, so that's actually how I owned the Game Gear, which unfortunately doesn't work anymore, because it works sort of, but it doesn't completely, because it has capacitors. And, okay, I made a mistake. In my telling the story, I forgot to bring the large bomb, which I need to blow up that wall over there. But, yeah, that was the reason, because, like, you knew I loved Sonic, and the franchise, like, yes, that's how I have this system, and we really liked it. Me and my brother, because my brother and I played it a lot as well. And there were other games we played on it, not just the Sonic stuff. Played a lot of the Mickey Mouse games on that, particularly, Land of Illusion, which I'd love to show that off, but I need either another Game Gear, or I need a Retron 5 unit, feasibly, because there's an attachment to it that lets you put Game Gear cartridges into it. Or I could go to and emulate it, feasibly. But I have to look at stuff from my PC. I gotta understand how to stream from PC, because I haven't done that yet. But alright, now let's go back to Poly Mountain 1. And we'll go back and get the item behind that large bomb element. Alright, here's what the large bomb is. You place it down, it blows up after a time, and the manual says it kills all the enemies on the screen, but they were lying. It does not do anything of the sort. Honestly, this thing's pretty worthless, except for the parts where you need to use it, and the parts where you need to blow up barriers that can't be destroyed without it. And we're going to run in one of those in just a second. And sometimes it's kind of hard to tell, because you look at these, you think, like, these look like the walls we were blowing up before. Even throwing the triple bomb and it does nothing. But if you put the large bomb down, it blows it up. Nice. And you get this. The rocket booter. Yeah, they didn't spell that right. It's the rocket booster. We actually need that item to go to the end of the game. And for years growing up, I did not know that that was the reason you need to use it. I just was trying to think, like, wait a second, I need to go to the last area, and I had it on at one point, and I realized, hey, this level's open. But we'll show that off a little later. Alright, so I got that. Actually, one thing I'm also going to do is... the large bomb, there's an item in Volcanic Tunnel that we need to get from that. So let me see. Okay, I don't need the night vision anymore. Alright, let's pull Fang out, because I don't think we need... anything else. Oh, right, you know what? I think I might need... okay, no, I do need the remote bomb. Let's put the remote bomb out. You know, I'll show Fang later. We'll pull out the item radar. Do you learn this game from the instructions or from trial and error? Well, there is an instruction manual for this game. In fact, the Sonic Gems collection for GameCube you're playing this off of. Alright, I was going to use the item radar. It does have... or the item... I think they spelled it wrong. Let me go back to that. This collection has the manual... oh no, it's spelled right. Never mind. Alright, so let's go back to the Volcanic Tunnel 1. Or Volcanic Tunnel singular, there's only one. But yeah, you can feasibly learn certain things from the manual, but you kind of have to play around with trial and error to get through some of these parts of the game. So in some ways, that's kind of what it is. I mean, you basically have to kind of find out that, hey, I got this item, what does it do? So the large bomb thing. That's how I found out about that. Like, the manual says it blows up everything on the screen. It's lying, but it also does not... okay, it does blow up those. I thought, wait a minute, it doesn't blow up even these walls there, but... there's one wall we do need to use it with, and I need to throw the remote bomb very specifically. Or just go in the lava and say, yeah, it doesn't matter. So you kind of do learn a little bit from that, but the instruction manual, and you know what I'll do is, when we're done with this, I'll go back into Sonic Gems collection, and I'll remember to actually do this time. I'll go in there, I'll show you the instruction manual of the game, because Sega went to the trouble of digitizing the instruction manuals, the original instruction manuals they gave with this game, and every other game that's in this collection. Which is very nice, because nowadays you don't... I'm going to go on, I guess, a little bit of a rant here, sort of. When it comes to modern games, you don't really get instruction manuals in them anymore. And I kind of miss that. And in a lot of cases, there's the thought that, hey, it was caused by companies that didn't want to spend money printing an instruction manual, or they'd have an instruction manual that has barely anything in it. I know a lot of games from Electronic Arts tended to do that on the 360 era, and then eventually they just said, you know what, we have instructions in-game as they are, there's no reason to print a manual, so let's not print one. But I always missed that. I always missed the idea that, you know, I bought a game, there's an instruction manual for it. Sometimes they'll go into interesting elements of the background of the game, the story, and every so often now you'll get a release that will sometimes do that. Usually a specialized thing. In fact, I'll go into that a little bit. My coworkers are big into gaming too. They and I buy stuff from Limited Run Games that focuses on doing physical releases of stuff. He's a big fan of No More Heroes, which is a game from Suda51. It came out on the Wii initially. They re-released it on the Switch, and they did a physical version through Limited Run. He bought the collector's editions, which is this massive, like, box set of, like, it's an $150 box for the game, but it comes with the game, and it comes with all these little extras, like art books, and, like a flag, and, like, the soundtrack CD. So you're getting a lot of value for the money, despite the fact it sounds like, oh yeah, it's a lot of money for $150. It's a collector thing, but it has an instruction manual in it, and has background of elements of the game. And we were doing an unboxing of that during our work lunch break the other day. And it was interesting, we were doing that in connection with another Switch game that someone had bought for the Bad Game Thursday segment we do, which was Nickelodeon Kart Racing. And I said, see, look at that game that he bought, that is this, you know, collector's item thing, that has all this stuff in the box. And I opened the other one and he said, look at this. Yeah, there's nothing here. There's just the game card. Also, there's a boss over there, but we're going to ignore it for the time being. Because you do need the remote, the large bomb to get through that, but we're going to do it another way. But yeah, I gotta say, I do miss the idea of instruction manuals. Even to the point where, going back again into my childhood, I guess, the idea of going to a video store and renting a game, and sometimes they'd have the manual or they wouldn't, and I used to be concerned of things like, hey, I'm not going to know how to play it. So there's times I didn't rent games for that very reason. But nowadays I realize, well, no, it's fine. But sometimes I'll go through things. Yeah, there's a boss over there. I'm supposed to go in that area and throw bombs at him, but you know what? I'm just going to throw bombs from behind here, and I'm never going to get hit. And they do intend you to do this feasibly this way. And I think you have to do this in order to get the thing off of him. Alright, yeah, he's dead. So, yeah, that was not much of a boss battle, but yeah, he's gone. Alright, I'm also going to go up here, because I'll show the item right off once. You know, I'll show it down here. We know the item's up there, but let's use this. It's beeping faster. When you hear it beeping faster, you know there's an item over there. Or, okay, I'll get the item, because you do need this. Yeah, this is the extra armor. That is going to be a godsend when we go back to Lake Rocky one last time. You hear that bing? That means that there's nothing there. So yeah, that was the benefit of having that. But we need to come here to get that. Alright, so let's see. I cleaned out pretty much everywhere. Alright, I guess this is not going to be as long as I thought it was going to be. Maybe. I'll probably be done with this probably in about maybe an hour. Alright, let's take a look at this equipment here. For when I get to the next area. Let's pull Sonic out again. I don't need the large bomb anymore. I'll pull Fang out. Why not? And the triple bomb. Or, did I do the triple bomb or the large bomb? Oh, no, triple bomb. The large bomb otherwise is not going to be of use to us anymore. But I got that extra armor, and you're wondering, what is that? Alright, yeah, these are all the items that I have for the Sea Fox. We're all set. That's not going to be of use. That will... I need the mine as well, and we're good. You know what? I'll put this on. We need this on later, because there's a level that will not open up if I don't have the rocket booter. Or the rocket booster. What this does is it basically makes the Sea Fox fly, and it basically is used just to open that one level. We'll see that later. Alright, back to Lake Rocky one last time. And we're going to go another way. And I'll show off part of what's going to happen here. What happens if you don't bring this up. The booter, yeah. Yeah, I'm hitting the one button. It's just doing that ding thing saying, no, it's not working. Alright, extra armor. You're invincible. Turn this on. You don't have to worry about anything in the area that you use it in. So, see those mines? Yeah, they're nothing to Tails and the Sea Fox. See those enemies? Yeah, they're dying. So, yeah, I don't need to worry about anything. And there's a part you need to use this. Otherwise, you are not going to survive. And I don't know, again, if there's a way to avoid that. But we will, avoid it. I'll show it off briefly of how you're not avoiding it. But, in the time being, yeah, here we go. And this will stay on, by the way, if I switch items, which I do need to do. You use the mine. Drop, mine down, and it will destroy stuff from below. So yeah, I couldn't get through that without the mine, but now we can. I do like that. The idea that you're kind of going through areas and you're kind of learning certain things about them. Alright, here we are in the next area. We need to do this to get to Cocoa Island, which is actually where those cuckoo guys are. Okay. Alright, yeah, I took one ring hit from those, but... yeah, that, right there, those... yeah, those shots, they take 10 rings off each. Unless you have the invisibility, then you're fine. And they will sometimes drop rings. Yeah, you cannot get through this area without this, because usually they'll appear before you can get out of the way. And in a lot of cases, I don't think you can avoid them. I don't think. I'll correct the record later if that's the case, and you can. But, alright, so there is the mines that we need to get down here. Yeah, you don't have this, switching to the mines like that, or putting them on, yeah, you're still going to die. And if I go to 0, it's game over. But, yeah, we're set. Yeah, so basically, now anytime I go down in the Sea Fox, which I think this is the really last time we're going to do it, turn that extra armor on. Especially here, and same with those things dropping. Yeah, because I'm avoiding those things dropping, but in some cases the ceiling's so low, you can't help but, you know, get hit by them. So I guess this is the way they come up with a fix as far as the potential for mandatory hit, or just the idea of, hey, you gotta power up Tails enough to be able to get through this no problem. And again, it goes back to the idea of Tails being more confident in himself and growing as a character through mechanical elements. Like, hey, I have these items and things I find, I can use them to turn them into other things, or I can use the rocket booter, as I mentioned, again, like Rido, you can't not say it that way, to make this thing fly later. So there you go. Yeah, I mean, yeah, these ducks came in, they are firebombing our island, and they need to pay, and Tails is going to use his know-how to do it. Yeah, that's the other thing, that's dead end. But with the extra armor, we're going to be set. Now I got to remember what way I have to go out. Because it's kind of a maze again, but yeah, I think you just have to keep going down this way. Okay, here it's here. Alright. Because basically there was an island. We'll see this when we go back to the map when we get through this. We're going through the other way. Alright. Oh, right. I have to, yeah, I have to shoot this backwards. There are enemies shooting out here. Just shoot the missile in front of it, or the torpedo. And there it's gone. Oh, right, it's another area. Alright, let me, use the extra armor again. Alright, enjoy more of the music and the sights and the pretty colors, because this is the other thing. Yeah, you get this kind of burgundy thing, almost like a cashmere carpet, weirdly enough. And here we are. We're here, and we jump out. And this is how we're getting over here. This is Coco Island. This is going to be the beginning of the end of the game, pretty much, or sort of. Also, here's the other thing. Now that I got there, I can also go over that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back to my house and check my loadout. Bomb, Robot, Knack, or Fang, as is, and Sonic. Let me just see. Okay, good. Because since I'm going to show off every item, I just want to make sure I'm going to get everything. And I will. Hold on. How many was that? It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Yeah. Did I forget something? I'll look later. I won't lie to you. I do have a list of where everything is, only because I didn't want to miss something. Alright, this is Coco Island. This is the base of the Cuckoo Birds. How this works is, there's those laser berries. They won't hurt me, thankfully. I hit that switch in order to get rid of it. And there's another one going downwards the other way that I need to get in order to, or hit in order to get through this. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, the spin dash does not protect me in the air when I'm, revving it up from their gunshots. But it will, run right through them. But I'll still get hit a little. Alright, okay, there's Knack. Yeah, I'm hitting the B button. It's not doing anything, but what that means is that every time I kill something, pretty much, a ring will pop out feasibly. Alright, there you go. Which is good, because I haven't run into cases of dying, which has been good. Honestly, the worst of it was really Lake Crystal. Lake Crystal and, yeah, almost with, Holly Mountain 1. Also, those, blocks over there, they will drop me downwards, so I don't want to touch those. I'll survive jumping down, but I don't want to repeat that again. Okay, well, I guess I have to, though. Yeah, they'll take you down here if you fall under. So you just keep stay to the high road and you'll be set. But sometimes you're not going to necessarily know unless you look downwards. Or use the flight to fly down and not hit that, like that. Basically just looking for the switches to get to the next area. There's one item here as well that I can get. Okay, wait for... I gotta hit a couple switches, because that's one. I have tons of flight now because of the emeralds I collected. Oh, okay, I keep doing that, the C-stick thing. Sorry about that. But it gives you an idea of what I was playing this game like in 1995. You don't have a screen as nice and big as this, feasibly. Alright, there you go. So that did that. Alright. You have to kind of go around in order to get to the next switch we need to hit, and also to find the item that's on the way. Ow. Yeah, we get the ring. Yeah, I have the Fang item. I may as well make use of it. Yeah, also, sometimes the conveyor belts will go in different directions. There's an item we're going to get in the last level that will let us change, in that level only, the direction of the conveyor belts. Alright, just wait for them, because, yeah, when they crouch like that, they're invincible. So you either have to time it or hope that the explosion of the triple bomb will get rid of them. Or they'll get up at the explosion of the triple bomb. Alright, here we go. These are collapsing blocks. I want to stay in the center because there's an item here. You're supposed to fall down there to get everything, but I want to get the Chaos Emerald at the very least. Alright, that's, yeah, I think I'm missing one of the Chaos Emeralds. That's what it is. Alright, so there's the switch you need to hit, and by doing that, I go down here at the end. And there was a laser barrier here. I need to hit that so I can go through. Oh, okay, I didn't want to jump back upwards. Alright, so... Oh, right, I forgot. There's, spikes there, but you come down here and get another item. This is a teleport device. What that does is when you have it equipped and you use it, you leave the level instantly. Which you will do... You want to do that if you go back to a level and you're trying to find items and then you go to the end and you find out that, hey... I don't want to go all the way back, you can leave. Or if you're about to die, because then you'll go back and you'll be safe. Alright, one thing I do need to do is blow this up, but there's a laser barrier in the way, so I can't get through it unless I pull out the remote robot. Pretty much pull him on any level. You don't ever want to come to any level without this thing, pretty much. And fly through here and walk along. As a kid, I used to walk through this very slowly, just keep holding right until I get there. But if you set yourself up right, go through it. Oh, the laser barrier? Yeah, I'll show that. Nothing. Yeah, I just can't go through. That being said, when I was recalling the remote robot there, you saw those little, waves going through. The remote robot is invincible against everything. I probably should mention that. Except those things. Those things will recall me, or recall him to Tails instantly. Also, that's how you get through that part easy. They're holding right to go all the way through. Yeah. If I get hit by that thing there, I get recalled, so I gotta be careful. Actually, the easy way to do that is to just pretty much drop down. Just walk underneath it. But also be careful, because right there is a, arrow block. If I fall down there, I'm gonna have to go all the way around again. Oh no! You can also do the flight in the air with the remote robot. You hold up into the 2 button to do that. Alright. Okay, now I go to the one here. Yeah, there's the button. And I think that's really most of what I have to do here. Well, that and avoid those shots. Right now I can just fly, so I don't have to worry about that. Okay, fly here, and then... yeah, we'll pull the remote robot out again. Because I think I need... This is where you use them the most, as far as use them to get through the laser grid. In fact, there is one of the laser grids right there. But before I go back, I just want to see if there's anything else. So you can use them to scout, pretty much. And yeah, the birds won't hurt me. I guess the idea is Tails builds everything, or utilizes everything really effectively. Alright, so yeah, I need Tails to get through here. Alright, yeah, in this case I can just go right underneath him and avoid him. Oh. Yeah, I did take a little bit of a hit from the spikes, but it's probably worth it this way. Alright, I just gotta think, is there anywhere else I need to use the remote robot for? It doesn't look like it right now. Oh. Yeah, see the game chug a little bit, although, for what the Sega Game Gear was doing, it kind of makes sense, sort of. And it was an 8-bit unit, so I think there's that element of it, too. And it doesn't happen too much. It's not horrible. Yeah, I think most of the rest of this level is pretty much a straight shot with, one exception on the boss. Alright, so this is this bird commander dude. Alright, he threw me down, and I'm stuck here. And there are those lasers that are gonna hurt me, and I gotta get through there and take care of him. Okay, yeah, that hurts me. So, what do I do? I'm trapped in here. Actually, yeah, I am trapped in here. In fact, exactly. So, uh-oh. I have to throw that... Okay, good. Yeah, I almost screwed myself, honestly. In fact, if I screwed myself that way, if I couldn't have blown that thing up with the bomb, I'd have to kill myself. Because you can't fly through these things. That's too small to get through. This is the exit I have to get through. And, yeah. So, alright, fine. That's maybe another reason people don't like this game. A case like that, but alright, fine. Since I do have the right equipment, I avoided having to kill myself. But yeah. I need to go through here with the remote robot, go through the maze, and take care of that guy. So there he is. So in order to get myself out of here and take care of him, we're going to pull the remote robot out. And get very elaborate. And don't fall down here again. How'd you learn that? The thing with the bomb? Pretty much, I guess, trial and error, pretty much. And I think, to be fair, this game does teach you, when you see, like, a small area, like... Let's go back. Okay, alright, fine. I'm falling down again. Let's do this again. When you see a small area like this, the game does do a good job, which you saw at the beginning of the game, of telling you that, alright, if there's a block here, you usually need to have the remote bomb to roll in here to blow it up, or you need to have or you need to have the remote robot to go through. So to be fair, the game does teach you to a certain degree, but I mean, and this is later in the game, so, okay, fine, maybe. But you just need to be careful of what you're picking. So that's why the equipment you pull for a level is important. And sometimes you might not necessarily know that, although I don't think... You know, I'm trying to think if you can even go through this level as it is without having the items you need to get through this part of it. I think the game usually designs itself or designs levels around the fact that you need to have the items they're asking about. Alright, so here's the guy. I think, you know, let's try this. Okay, no, I'm invincible. I thought if he touched me that I'd be in trouble. But yeah, we're gonna crush him to death with a rock. And he has that button and we hit it. Alright, so his dead body's there, and we're gonna leave him. Now that the lasers stop shooting, and there's the way out. I guess feasibly we set a bomb or something, so we gotta get our way out. So there goes the island down. But they have their little, you know, fortress. And since I have the rocket booter, I can use, when I'm on Sea Fox, I can go... Can I go there? Hold on. I'm hitting right on the D-pad, it's not doing anything. Alright, let's go to Tails' house. Actually, you know what? Here's the thing about this. I don't think I actually ever had the rocket booter equipped when I beat Cocoa Island before on the Sea Fox. So I think maybe when you come out it doesn't work. So let me try that. Because you have to go here, so it's not... Okay, there you go. That's the Battle Fortress. That's where we need to go. We're not going there yet. I want to find the last item I missed. In fact, we can also show off the teleport device for that. So exit, and we'll go grab that out and go to a level, or the level that has what I need. Okay, so Fang, you served us decently. There's the teleport device. Alright, I'm missing one of the Chaos Emeralds, and they do tell you on the screen here what the items are if you don't have them. So there's the blue Chaos Emerald. I have the other 5. I need the 6th one. So where is that blue one? It is in... Okay, it's in Karen Forest. So yeah, we do need to go back there. And I do need to bring... I need to bring the napalm for that. Alright, so much as saying we're done with Karen Forest. We have to go there one more time. Yeah, I forgot there's an item at the top of this place. Actually, that was... When I said that I jumped up at the top and I need to use the bomb for that, that's when I needed... Actually, you know what? I gotta go back again. You know what? Well, I'll use the teleport device now. Hit that, we leave. Alright, because I need the super glove as well. So let me grab that. I need the napalm. I do need the remote robot. Yeah, you know what? Okay, I'm not using the triple bomb anymore. We're gonna use, or the teleport device. I gotta pull up the super glove, because I need that to pick up the spring. I forgot about that. Okay, now we're going to Karen Forst again. The same deal as before, except we're gonna have to go up that area that I thought I didn't need to go up. I mean, feasibly, I don't need to necessarily go get this thing, but I kind of want to. Actually, it does help because the last Chaos Emerald will max out my rings, and my fight gauge was already almost maxed out anyway, so... Alright, remote robot time. I guess as we're going through this part again, chat, let me know if you have any other questions about this game, what you're seeing, or is there anything else you want to talk about, because that's the point of the show. The point of the show is to go into elements of gaming, either this game, or elements of a series that's connected to it, or anything feasibly, and have a bit of discussion to it, and go into elements like that. And now it's kind of what makes this show a little different from other things. Whether it's stream concept or Let's Play concepts. Usually Let's Play concept, you're putting it on a site alone, and then, you know, having people say something in the comments. In this case, it's like real time for the comments that way. Then let me know what you got as we go and get the blue Chaos Emerald. Jumping on the blue spring. Actually, one thing I'm also going to do is I'm going to pick this up, I'm going to throw it right off. There we go, perfect. There we go. So, hit that up there. Am I hitting it? I hope I don't need the remote bomb for that. Okay, no, I can hit it that way. Yeah, when you throw the bomb, it'll go up in an arc enough, and if you hit it just right, or you're jumping high enough, it'll land up on the block and get it. Okay, here we go. So there's the Chaos Emerald. Perfect. And by getting that, we have 99 rings, and our fight gauge is full. So you're basically going to be up in the air for quite a bit of time. Though at this point, we don't necessarily need to be in the air for that long. But there we go. And we just fall down here and go around the other way. But use the napalm to get our way out. With this, we only have one other item left. I expect you get better at doing this the more you do it. Playing this game, yes, I would. Or this, that's what you're talking about, right? Let me know if that's not the case. Yes, I would say with the game like this, you're pretty much you're understanding what the weapons do and what the areas are like, and then kind of improving your skills and improving Tails' abilities, which I do love about this game. But all right, we are almost done. I just need to. I want to get my loadout for... Actually, you know what? The loadout of the last level is not going to matter, because I'm going to leave it and come out for a reason that'll make sense a little later. Let me just check my stuff out. Extra armor, the rocket booter, which you need to open up that Battle Fortress 1 area. The proton torpedo. The mine's not going to be used here, so we're going to use the anti-air missile. Alright, ready. Yeah, we're ready to take the fight to these guys. This game looks like a lot of fun. Yeah, it is, and I think part of it is when you get into that mood of it. I think that's more than some of the other Sonic games I've played, whether they're actually based on it specifically or tangentially connected. And I gotta get myself over to there. There we go. I guess you have to go diagonal or go to the right. All right. Yeah, it's weird sometimes going through. This is probably maybe one of the most slow burn Sonic related games I could think of, because in a lot of ways it really is asking a lot of patience out of you, which in a lot of cases is kind of antithetical to Sonic. Because the idea is Sonic wants to go fast, and, you know, you want to keep going. But, yeah, you can't... Oh, alright. Never mind, the armor does not work here. Alright, so I have to go through on my own wiles. So, alright. Yeah, the Sea Fox is flying through the air as I try to get myself surviving, and, yeah, I did not know that the extra armor does not work here. Alright, so there you go. Just keep going. They came with those planes and were, you know, dropping the bombs on me on the battleship. Yeah, we're going to the battleship now. We're going to take this thing down. And yeah, this is going to be less than 3 hours. I'm going to say this is probably going to be 2.5, 2 3/4, if that. Yeah, it is fun. It is fun to that, and it is a nice change of pace. And I'll tell you, as I mentioned, this is my favorite game from the Game Gear, and the reason being is because of the variety it gives, because of the depth it has as far as some of its elements, and the repeat value of kind of going through areas. And in that way, it does make it a lot of fun, and it is something unique. I think in that way, and maybe also because it did teach me a little about, you know, some of my reactions to games, and in some ways, not that I necessarily had a problem with this game, you know, the idea of, you know, that they say not to judge a book by its cover. I didn't necessarily have a problem with the fact that this game is not a super speedy game like the other Sonic games I'm aware of, but I really like the idea that, okay, it's not that, but then I kind of almost very intuitively almost, just kind of started to roll with this game, and then just really got into it, to the point where I was playing this for months, trying to find every little aspect out of it and get through it. Whereas in this case, I'm finishing it under 3 hours, so who knew? But it also goes to the idea of when you're younger playing a video game, particularly as a kid, say, and then you come back to it years later and you're either really, really good at it, or sometimes you might get worse at a game. And I've had that case too. I mean, even parts of this game I'm doing worse than I sometimes used to. But that anti-air missile's doing a lot of good for me, being able to hit the cannons of the birds here. Which might be an homage to Sonic 2, now I'm thinking about it, with the Winged Fortress Zone and Clucker, the duck, or bird enemy that shoots the cannons out. How old was I when I first played this? I was about 9, 10, because I played this when it came out, in 1995. So yeah, I was definitely very young, and there we go. So we're out of that area, and we've landed onto the Battle Fortress. We're going in here on foot, and we have one last thing we're going to do. And we hear this, you know, foreboding music, which means we're near the end. But there's one thing we're going to do, and we're going to leave the level briefly after we do this. We're going to go get the last item. Bring the remote robot and to send him through this hole. And for good measure, you know what? I'm going to do something briefly. I'm hitting the Z button. You do that, you bring up the save screen. You have options of save states on this game. I'm going to put one to... Okay, the last time I played it out of this collection was 2006. Wow. Okay, that takes me back. Alright. So I'm doing a save on this. I'm going to do the glitch with the remote robot one more time, just to let you know what that is. You pick up an item with the remote robot. You hit the 1 button to recall him. The screen goes weird. If this game crashes for some reason, or if, I mean, the collection won't crash. If this game crashes by my doing this, I have a save state so I can go back to that. Alright, so off screen we go. Where do we go? Or just go in there. It distorts the graphics, mostly. But as I was showing earlier, sometimes it just kicks me out of the level for areas where it has a pit. But, alright, that's the wrench. Now, I'm going to show this off on our way out. Because we're coming back here. But this little machine here, the conveyor belts. By using the wrench on this thing, it switches the direction they go. Makes this level a lot easier. You don't necessarily need to get this, but I'm going to get it and show it, because we're showing this whole game off. And we are, I believe, almost done. Let me just see about my items. And also switch out what I need. Okay, there's the wrench. Let's pull that out. And lastly... Yeah, the Chaos Emeralds are not items I can equip, but they'll always be on my person as far as the rings and the fight. And bring Sonic out, why not? And I need the remote robot, and I want the triple bomb. Alright, so let's go into the Battle Fortress 2 and finish the game off. And you can go straight here from foot, after you've already beaten Battle Fortress 1. Alright, so here is how the wrench works. There you go, that button went up in the other direction. Now the conveyor belt's going to the right, so it's going to make it a lot easier to navigate over here. And it goes with the perspective of Tails being, you know, tinkering with stuff. By the way, if you press it anywhere else, it just doesn't do anything. Because the other thing also is, yeah, I guess you could feasibly use the remote bomb to get the cuckoos through that, but, okay, that was weird. Yeah, I saw that. The screen kind of went nuts. But... yeah, for the purpose of that, it's like, yeah, you may as well just avoid them, honestly. In this case, they're making, like, duck robots. So Dr. Robotnik, by the way, is not in this game. The villain of the Sonic franchise is not a part of this one. Although feasibly, I guess, here's the other thing. Robotnik technically already did something like this before, because if you played Sonic 3, he firebombed Angel Island. That game came out the year before this one did. So I guess he already tried it, and either it didn't work, or again, as I mentioned, the continuity of this for Japan is that this takes place before most of the other Sonic games. Oh, same with Coco Island. You have the switches you need to hit, and you have those down arrows that take you downwards. Just hit the switches and avoid the down arrows until you need to take them. And they'll get rid of the laser barriers like there. I think there is an area I need to send the remote robot out through here. I think. Yes. And the remote robot can go over spikes, no problem, too. So there's that as well. Right, we need to hit that switch. Okay. Yeah, and sometimes a little bit of a wait till he comes back. But yeah, we have 93 rings. I don't think we're going to be in trouble, but in case I am, I do want to keep killing enemies to get items. Or I guess the other thing I feasibly do is, yeah, hang in the air like that and fly underneath it. Or just go this way. And since I'm on the ground like that, or close under spikes, that's one of those cases where you can jump twice to initiate the flight, but in that case I kind of either want to walk underneath it or hold up and then hit the jump button to start flying. Alright, here we go. Alright, there we go. So let's switch that off. Yeah, this makes this level a lot easier when you have this. Yeah, you can feasibly, do this and bypass it, but you kind of might not want to. Oh, actually, you know what? I probably should do that because it'll be a lot easier, but at least I showed you how you do that way without hitting the switch. There we go. I do like going back to the thing with the colors, Monte QK, that you were mentioning. I really like the colors here, and it kind of puts the idea of, like, yeah, this is the sunset, this is the sunset, I guess, of this game, of the Super Old Game Saturday show of this week, I guess. But also it's the idea that, yeah, we've gone all this way so far. These guys came after us and destroyed our island, or firebombed our island. We're going to get our revenge. This is the final, element. They're excellent. Yeah, this is... I would say this is one of the best-looking games on this system, and that's not to say that every game on this system looks terrific. This one, though, and I think this is because it's the end of the life cycle of the system, even stuff with the animations you're seeing with Tails there, or like the floating thing, or the enemy shooting, and the color palette as well. For that kind of perspective, you just say, like, well, hey, you could play a game, a modern release now. Okay, I went backwards, I didn't mean to do that. You could say, like, oh, these games look so much better now, which they do, for sure, but they're running more advanced technology. But for the technology that was powering this game 26 years ago, that's where you realize that, hey, you look into perspective that way of how did this game look for when it came out, and speaking as someone who was there when this game came out, this game looked terrific even as far as the standards of the system at the time, and is still one of the best looking games on it. So in that case, you give a lot of credit for them getting that kind of graphic style, but also the artistry of the graphics, which is different than even just the tech behind it. Because this could be technically great, but artistically kind of flat maybe, but this is kind of the best of both worlds. There we go, hit that, and keep hitting that C-stick up. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry about that, but that's the one thing about the Sonic Mega Collection Plus that we played Sonic 1 out of last month. They let you press in the analog, that right analog stick forward. The GameCube does not have a... The second analog stick on the GameCube does not have a press-in element, so you have to press it up or down. But yeah, we're almost there, and yeah, definitely have a good time with this one. Even just some of the detail, like right there, like, you're seeing Tails there, like his whiskers are even kind of floating or flapping in the breeze that way. I actually never really noticed that detail. The kind of thing, again, looking at the sprite set of this game, realizing that, hey, there's a lot of things going on for this, and it does look pretty impressive. Even to me, there's like, and this is the benefit of me playing a game like this, after all this time, coming back to it and looking at other things, because I played this game enough to know pretty much every aspect of it, so you start looking at other things. Oh, okay, in that case, coming backwards that way. Because I mentioned this before on the show and other people, the idea that, hey, you're going to play a game you played multiple times, or you're going to watch a movie you've seen multiple times, or read a book you've read multiple times. You know elements of what it is. You know how the game is going to go, or the movie or book, in terms of story, or you know how to operate it in the case of a game like this, so you start looking at other things. So then you start noticing different things. And I guess it's also different from the perspective of the audience out there, you all watching this, and then watching, like, okay, looking from that perspective, and whether you're coming to it knowing it or not. And it's a surprise for its age. Yeah, and that's the idea, because sometimes you'll get games from an era like this, even on the system, that don't look this good, even. So it's nice to see a case like that, and also look at the idea of what can the artistry of gaming be, even for something older, and also especially nowadays, because I mentioned this before as well, the idea that I know friends of mine who I met in college, or might have known for years, a lot of them are married with children, and they've sometimes mentioned the idea of, like, they knew of stuff of gaming when they knew me, or when I was seeing them more, or I had seen them more. And at that point, like, for example, I remember I was playing Sonic Advance 2, which was the Game Boy Advance with them, so they knew my love of Sonic completely. But they knew, like, that fascination of some of stuff like that, and I think they probably like the idea of the thought of, hey, they have young children, exposing them to gaming, and they can expose them to newer stuff, for sure. The newer Sonic games that come out, the new Mario games, Zelda, all those things, but also get a mindset of an older game to see what some of these things are about. Also, I do want to reverse... I want to find a machine to reverse that. Actually, yeah, okay. I want to land, because you can't switch weapons in midair. Or, okay, fine, I lied. Yes, you can. Yeah, if you don't have the wrench, you have to go through that area, either timing the flight so you hit that. The remote robot, okay, don't want to do that. Come on. Okay, good. Either you have to go through that way, or go through really, really slowly and avoid the laser blasts that will recall my remote robot instantly, so I gotta avoid them. They'll go a little faster, so you gotta... I guess the duck died off screen. Okay, it wasn't me doing that. Alright, there we go. So there's the button. Ugh, again with that thing. Alright. Because I'm hitting the B button. If you've never seen the GameCube controller, for some reason, though if you're watching the show, I would think you probably have. But in case you haven't, I'll put a picture in the video for this when it goes on the YouTube site just for it. I'm hitting the B button for items and actions and things, but that's right next to where that C stick is. So in some cases, you're sometimes accidentally hitting it. Alright, so now that I hit that, I just need to go through and get to the end. Alright. Alright, here we go. Yeah, there we go. Just blow the bomb up, or blow the wall up with the bomb, and we're all set. I do have a decent ring count, so we should be set that way too. Oh, right, I need another thing for the remote robot. Yeah, that's kind of what happens. You were saying, how do you learn this game? Or what do you learn on this game? Right there, like, I'm seeing a hole, I'm saying remote robot, send remote robot up. So feasibly, I can kind of go through this faster as opposed to going all the way around, realizing, hey, I need to hit something. Or, actually, in this case, I guess going backwards to see where I need to go next. Actually, you know what? I'm going to scout a little more. I'm going to send the remote robot up a little. Because that's the other thing that can feasibly help you. You can use this, and since you're invisible to most anything, just go around to see, okay, where can I go? Or where can Tails go, and how can Tails get there? And since the flight with this thing's infinite, you're all set. Alright, so I have to go over this way. Also, by the way, those... You know what, I'll show myself getting hit by this. Or, wait a minute. Does it not recall me? What happened? Hang on. You got the robot. Yes, you do. Okay, there we go. I was thinking, like, wait a second. You hit those things and they, send me back, but I didn't see that happening. Yeah, but you do grab the robot. D-pad movement, like with Tails. And then you do jumping and then flight. Yeah, but those laser things, they will not go off when Tails is on the field only. Just for the robot. Alright, so I think we're near the end, actually. It's right through here. Alright, so there's that bird thing we saw at Poly Mountain 1. He'll go in a zigzag like this around the area. Just hit him when he comes by. And avoid the blast he does there. Not too bad, but if you're not careful, you can get yourself hurt. The triple bomb will be your best friend here because of the blast radius. So you don't necessarily have to hit him directly. But sometimes you have to be careful as far as where he is. I don't know if it's a specific pattern he goes, but yeah, just wait till he gets down here and just keep hitting him. Oh, right, he has the fire thing. He'll go up from the top that way, so just go out of the way. Ow. But he doesn't do as much damage as even those cannons we saw in Lake Rocky, so as long as I just keep hitting him, I should be fine. But I do want to have some health, because this is not the last boss. It's definitely satisfying hearing that ding-ding, the clinking of the bomb when you hit something. You know you're hurting them, and that is your tell to know how you're causing damage. Actually, I think he might be invincible during that fire attack. Where'd he go? Okay, there we go. Yeah, I got him. When he's exploding like that, you got him. Alright, he's gone. We're not quite done. We gotta fly up here. Alright, there is the leader of the Cuckoos, who actually does not really look much like a duck to me. He looks more like a... I don't know if you're familiar with him. Horse Collar from the Disney cartoons. Yeah, he'll throw the bombs out like that, so just walk in a zigzag or back and forth to avoid him. And he does take a lot of hits, but if you have the triple bomb, you're good. He'll also, again, give me the bad touch and throw me out, and that'll hurt me more, so just be careful. He'll also do that squat thing, and he'll either throw out the bombs that way, or sometimes he'll put them up. He'll shoot them up like a flower upwards. I'll see if I can show that off. But if you're in the air, you can kind of just drop the bomb down on him this way. Yeah, like that. He can do that. And then grab me, but I should be fine. It's quite a fight. Yeah, I mean, as I said, I tried a minimalist run, going through this game, getting as few of the items as I could, getting through this. This was definitely a challenge doing that, for sure. Even having played this game for all these years. But with the full set of items here, yeah, he'll go down eventually. And I think... Okay, I think I got him. And with that, we're done. I'm leaving one last bomb to it, and out we go into the sun, and I'm flying away. And with that, we're done. Well, almost done. I'm going to go back into Sonic Gems collection. We'll look at the instruction manual as I promised. There you go. Great. Yeah, there you go. I flow back. The Battle Fortress is gone. The Cuckoos are gone. We're never going to see them in this franchise again. And here are the credits getting the game's name wrong. They call it Tails Adventures on the title screen of this game, in the credits like this, and actually in the Sonic Gems collection that I'm playing this out of itself. But it's called Tails Adventure Singular. This was an adventure, although I guess we're having multiple ones in between for everything. So there you go, and we get this cutscene here of Tails and the Flicky Bird. You know, the Flicky Bird's causing trouble feasibly. But yeah, and Tails is upset because, yeah, he has to go back to the drawing board for what he's building. And this goes into the idea of Tails being a builder, which we're going to see with the Super Sonic Game Saturday game we're doing next month, which is going to be Sonic Adventure for the Dreamcast, released in 1998 in Japan, but 1999 for the US. We're playing that US version, which is the best way to play it. And I'm going to have a lot of fun playing that game. That being said, that's a longer game. I'm not finishing that in one night, so what I'm going to do is... I usually come back to a game every month if I'm not going to finish in one night. Not this one. I'm doing this over 2 weeks. So probably the beginning of August, the first weekend of August, the 7th, I'm going to start that game. We'll go about 4.5 hours on that, and then the week after we'll complete it. Because I felt like, yeah, I want to do Sonic Adventure, and I haven't really touched the Dreamcast that much in a while. Kind of like I haven't touched the GameCube for this collection. This is a Game Gear game, but I'm playing this through a collection, Sonic Gems collection for the GameCube. So I was like, yeah, I'll play a different console. Sounds good. That is definitely a good game. a game that's aged, but one that I also still have a fondness for and will also vigorously defend, just like this game. And as I said, I have a personal connection. Maybe it is a little bit of a nostalgia talking on this, but even coming back to play it now, I still am having a lot of fun with this. I still love the idea of what this game is doing, and is the kind of thing I would like something more open for Sonic like this, perhaps. The idea of them going into that direction. And we've heard the rumblings of the next big Sonic game. It's they haven't emphasized what it's called yet. It's thought to be called Sonic Rangers, because there's leaks as far as what the name might be. There's the thought they may be going open world with that game. It's coming out next year for probably a lot of the new systems. But I'd like to see maybe a take on that working as well as this, potentially. But as this is definitely a highlight as far as the Game Gear, something that kept me playing it like crazy for years. And then there's Tails doing that twirl, very happy about him getting that taken care of. Him blowing up in smoke when it didn't work, but also that twirl he's doing. Apparently there's a reference to that in Sonic Mania that I missed when you complete a level with him. But yeah, there you go. Oh, and you do get an item detection ratio of 100%. So there you go. Yeah, we did 100% this game, as I promised. But you do not get anything else specific to it. Although, I think you just get the percentage. Alright, so what I'm going to do before we go, there's the hints. When you play a game for 2 hours in this collection, you get them. You get the passwords. Actually, you know what? I'll show the password thing off briefly, just to show off what it is. If you go to continue, you put a password in. Yeah, we didn't have saving back in the day of this. It's helpful, yeah, especially on Game Gear, where most games did not have a save function to them. The only game on the Game Gear I've played that does is Shining Force Sword of Haja, which is a terrific game. But at least in this case, yeah, because I played this game for months as a kid, trying to find everything. You, yeah, go through here, and you're able to write the password down. If you get it wrong, you get a buzzing. If you get it right, you go back to, wherever it is. And I guess, based on what happened... Actually, I can check that thing as far as the item... Okay, so I guess it's... Okay, this is the default password I guess they give you when you start. Okay, so alright, then in that case, we're done with this. But before we go, I will show the manual off one more time. Because this is the Sonic Gems collection for GameCube that does have this, as well as Sonic the Fighter, Sonic CD, Sonic R, Sonic 2 Game Gear, Sonic Spinball Game Gear, Sonic Triple Trouble, which I mentioned before, Sonic Drift 2, which I mentioned, Tails Sky Patrol, the game we just played, and then Vector Man 1 and 2. And in the YouTube site, I go into that a little more, because when I started this, I started looking at this collection specifically. But we'll finish in the manual section. They do give you the digitized versions of all the instruction manuals for all the games, whether it's Sonic CD on the Sega CD, Sonic R on the Saturn, the PC version of Sonic R, Sonic 2 on Game Gear, and the one we played, which is Tails Adventure. Actually, before we do that, also, since Tails Sky Patrol is a Japanese game only, they give you a Japan-only manual. But yeah, here is Tails Adventure. That is the game. They call it Tails Adventure on the manual for that. And using the right analog stick here, you can kind of flip through it. And this is something I had the manual for this game. Used to, anyway. I did love kind of reading through this, understanding, okay, what are the controls of this game? How do I play it? Elements of getting started, the idea of how does the game operate, equipping things, passwording, hints about adventuring, what the dock is, moves you have, and this is also where you understand the items, because they will tell you what all the items are, but they won't tell you where they're found. It's basically still is up to you to find out what you're going to go about, and also some of the other items there. So I mean, I guess with the rocket booter, or booster as they call it, they say use that to fly, so that's a hint, I guess, what you're supposed to do. And then some of these other sections, and the manuals of the Genesis, or the Genesis, Game Gear, and every Sonic game really, or Sega game really, or Sega system, will give you stuff like that. They give you hints of certain things, like, hey, you could do that quickly, press the 2-button thing to make the jump that way, or fly for a while, flying through different ways, using up and the button 2 instead of pressing it twice, finding items on land like rings and things, using the remote robot a lot. They tell you, basically. Use an item as much as you want with no limits. And what to do in the sea, including the idea of use the extra speed item to get through Lake Crystal. And in terms of some of these, you also get the back of the manual, saying, like this game, check out these others on Game Gear, which are Sonic Labyrinth and Sonic Drift 2. Sonic Labyrinth was in the Sonic Mega Collection Plus that we played last month for Sonic 1. Yeah, you do get the instruction manuals for all that, and it is nice to be able to kind of go back to some of the stuff even for cases where I don't actually own the physical version of something like Sonic R, I don't own this on the Sega Saturn, and the Sega Saturn version costs a fortune now, unless you're getting a Japanese copy. Which I could do, and if I get it on Saturn, I'm going to get it there. But yeah, see the other aspects of how this system is set up. See the Sega Saturn right there. And other things, and using the L and R button. I'm doing that to do the zoom in, and also seeing the controller used for that. And the 3D control pad, which is a very nice device at some point. I brought that up when we talked about Knights. And I will if I go back to Knights at some point, but, and also, you know, we'll go into this briefly, because I don't know if you were there for the beginning of this. The museum. As you play through games, you unlock pictures of things. You have pictures of all the games that are going. Pictures from, like, Sonic screensavers and things. Pictures from Knuckles Chaotix. From Sonic Adventure, so this is the game we're going to be doing next month. Although we're not doing the Sonic Adventure DX, which was on GameCube, which these are the screens from. We're going to use the Dreamcast specific for that. Here's for Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Heroes, other showcases, other weird stuff like this, Sonic, riding thing you put coins in Japan. They called it Waku Waku Sonic Patrol Car. The UFO crane game machine they had in Japan. Or some of these other things like a pachinko or, I guess, capsule toy machine. Or some of these other, like, weird amusement things. None of which we ever saw, or as I mentioned before, the idea that Sonic was initially going to have a human girlfriend. This is, Madonna is the name of her. Yeah, this never happened. I think one of the people involved in Sega said, no, we don't want this. And they wouldn't go back to that till Sonic 06, and people wish they would not have. And you also get this, which you do little, challenges for certain things. You know, I wasn't necessarily going to show this, but I'll show this very briefly. You know, let's pick on... Okay, I played Sonic 2 already, and I'm going to come back to Sonic 2. I'm going to show what this is. When you play enough through this, you get these little challenge missions, and they give you the final bosses of Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Sonic and Knuckles from the Genesis, Sonic 3D Blast from the Genesis, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Beam Machine from the Genesis, and Sonic Spinball from the Genesis, as well as Sonic 1 Game Gear, 2, Labyrinth, Sonic Drift 1, Sonic Chaos, Sonic Blast, and Dr. Robotnik's Mean Beam Machine. So you get little challenges. I'll show the Sonic 2 one off, because we're not going to come back to Sonic 2 until the Sonic Oranges collection comes up next year. But yeah, you get the Death Egg Zone, and they give you 10 minutes to beat the final boss. So you know what? Let's do that. Alright, this is Silver Sonic, by the way. If you haven't played Sonic 2, he'll do this, and he will do this. Also, the other thing is when I'm gonna... After I kill him, I'm gonna turn the volume down on the television because... Well, actually, I'm gonna do two things. I'm gonna turn the volume down on the television. I'm gonna turn the volume down on the video because I realized, no, I'm running a very high volume. In fact, let's turn it down even further. I hope that doesn't turn out bad for the YouTube site video, but if it does, I'll put a thing explaining into it. Alright, we destroyed Silver Sonic really quickly. Yeah, here is the Death Egg Robot. 14 hits for this guy, and be careful, the spike's there, and you have no rings, so if you get hit once, you're dead. I guess this is going to be a little bit of a bonus, because I've mentioned this with the show before, is, in a lot of ways, I like to give you more value than what you're expecting, because, I mean, in all honesty, you're not paying for this show, and I would never make people pay for the show. Yeah, it's not good enough to be able to do that, quite frankly, but, give you something a little more for your times. Like, yeah, we'll show you off, like, the challenge missions of this collection, and whoa! Avoid the laser, or avoid the, him dropping down. Alright, I'm just gonna wait. Because I have a 10-minute time limit for this, and I guess this is more traditional Element Sonic, yeah. Definitely a good show. Yeah, it is. I mean, I definitely put a lot of effort into it. I mean, I'm glad that people want to come in and see it. It's not a massive audience, but I said, I'm fine with that, you know? But also show something different, because if we're going to be showing something off like this, like, hey, I'm doing Tails Adventure, what's the point of this? Though now I'm thinking about it, it's probably a good reason I picked this one in particular, because I'm going to show this. Yeah, when I hit him 14 times, he does take a little bit of hits, and I'm just going to wait. Because it's risky to jump into him when his hands are out like that, because you can hit the spikes on the one on the back and die. You have to jump right to get to the one on the top there, so... They're probably watching the YouTube site. That's true. Yeah, a lot did watch for Sonic 1, and also for Mad Maestro. Alright, in that case, also, I'm avoiding him doing the arm throw. Okay, got him. Alright, so that's fine. So, there we go. The Death Egg is exploding. And... This is, I guess, the other fitting thing. So, yeah, 3 minutes to beat the final boss. I don't think you get anything for doing these things, but it's just the... Actually, no, I think you unlock each of the progressive game things for that. So, yeah, there is Tails again. This is the game, by the way, he was introduced in. I guess this goes to the other thing, which is, yeah, Tails, we saw him in Tails' Adventure, being able to have the technical genius of doing certain things. In this case, the technical aspect of seeing the Death Egg exploding, seeing Sonic's in trouble. He got his plane that he built with the rocket again, flying up there, and Sonic has fallen in space. But because Tails is a loyal friend to Sonic, he wants to be like Sonic while being his own person, but still be there for Sonic. There you go. He catches him on the Tornado, which is Sonic's plane, with Sonic's name on it, but yeah, Tails knows how to build onto it and fly it up there. Take care of Sonic, so there you go. A little look at the duo of Sonic and Tails, separated as far as the Tails Adventure game, but yeah, here is Tails being able to do that, and with that, there you go. And another reflection of the Sonic element. So yeah, we'll let the Sonic 2, element coming in. See, this is gonna be funny. I'm gonna imagine if people are coming into the show now, thinking like, wait a second, you said you were playing Tails Adventure. Why are you playing Sonic 2? Well, they'll see that timer up there and see what's going on. I enjoyed it. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Alright, and so while the Sonic 2 credits play, we'll come back to Sonic 2 Genesis, because thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate it, and thank you for watching. Just to go to this quickly, the Sonic Origins collection that's coming out next year is going to have this game in it, and it's going to be a rebuild, from what I understand, of pretty much everything in it. So, I played this game already. I don't have the video of it anymore, so I'm going to give it another play, and we're going to use that Sonic Origins collection to play it. So, in that case, it's good I pulled this out right now. So, alright. So, what system? Sonic 2 is a Sega Genesis game. It's been ported a bunch of places. The Sonic Origins collection, they haven't said what systems it's going to be out on, interestingly enough. They just announced it last month or 2 months ago at this juncture, saying it's going to be a collection of Sonic 1, 2, 3, Sonic & Knuckles, and Sonic CD. And they said it's not going to be a straight emulation of this game or any of the games on it, which is making me think that they're going to be rebuilding those games, which is interesting. Making an Xbox again. Yeah, they haven't said what they're going to put that on. If I'm going to guess, I'm pretty sure the Sonic Origins collection comes out probably on... I'm going to assume PC. I bet they put it on Switch. I bet they put it on Xbox Series X, Series S, and PS5. Maybe Xbox One, PS4. I don't know. They haven't said. They said they're going to give more information. Although Sonic 2 is on a bunch of systems as is. It's been on collections all over the place. I mentioned last week the Sega Genesis Classics collection on a bunch of things that had Shinobi 3. It has this on it as well. So there's a lot of places it's going to be. We're going to use that Sonic Origins collection when it comes out, which is next year. So there's a lot of time before that releases to show that, because I think it's going to be a different take. But also, yeah, so, yeah, I think with that, and with the countdown going, by the way, this is going to keep going through the credits and also until I'm done. Actually, by beating that boss as much as I did, I have feasibly 4 more minutes to play Sonic 2 however I want in this. And I'm going to assume also there's probably a either an action replay or a Game Shark code for the GameCube if you have one of those devices or units to turn that timer off and basically infinitely play these games. But I don't know. I'd have to look into that. I might put something on the YouTube site for the purpose of it. But yeah, with Sonic 2 there, and since it does have, that someone's go, great show, thanks again. Alright, so I thank you very much for watching, and thank you to the rest of the chat as well for watching the show tonight. You know, I'll let it go through the demo on Sonic 2, just for the purpose of this. We played Tails Adventure, I swear to God, everybody, if you're coming in right now, so don't worry. And it'll go on the YouTube site as well. But I'm going to go through the interior what we're looking right for the next couple weeks. Next week is going to be Wave Race 64 for the Nintendo 64, which is a jet ski racing game that I've been thinking about a lot. I love the game, and I'm going to show it off. I'm going to show off every aspect of that game that I can, just like I did with Tails Adventure. We're going to play through it 4 times. We're going to do the Grand Prix modes for Normal, Hard, Expert, and Reverse, which I have everything unlocked for that, and then I'll show the stunt mode off. So I'll give you a little more variety to it, and I'll cover all the courses and all the characters as well. 1 for each character, feasibly. So that's next week. The week after that is going to be Top Gear for the Super Nintendo from Kemco. That was on the request of Electverse, and I'd never played that game until he mentioned it. I bought a copy because it was dirt cheap. I played it a little, I liked it, and I said, okay, I want to give back for him coming to the show every so often. And, yeah, so we're going to play that. And then the week after that, we're turning to Super Mario RPG for its third part. That's going to be the end of the month. And then I think for the start of August, that's when we do the next Super Sonic Game Saturday entry, which is Sonic Adventure for the Dreamcast. That will be over 2 weeks, by the way. So it'll be the first week of August, and it'll be the second week of August that we play that game. And the second week of August is the week we'll finish it. And in that case, it also means that it'll be a really quick turnaround as far as seeing the end of that game. And then in August sometime, as far as one of the other weekends, the fourth part of Mario RPG. And I haven't decided what I'll do for the other open weekend for August. But that'll come eventually. I'll see what happens. And what I'm going to do is, before I sign off for tonight, I'm going to let the timer run out, just show what happens when the time runs out. But I beat the challenge. I beat the Death Egg Robot in a pretty good amount of time. And showing off Sonic 2 after showing off Tails Adventure for Game Gear, which is a game that, if you haven't played it, it is on the Game Gear, where it's kind of hard to find in some ways. It's on this Sonic Gems collection, which is also really expensive. It's like a $70 collection now. I had no idea it jumped up that much. Sounds like a great lineup, and congratulations. Well, thank you. And actually, the cheapest way to play this, and maybe the best one, is if you have a 3DS. Tails Adventure is on the 3DS Virtual Console for $5. In fact, I'll tell this story. When I bought a 3DS, talk about interesting gaming priorities for me. First thing I did when I bought 3DS, a couple years after it came out, I went to every game store in the area I'm living in to find a copy of Pilot Wings Resort, which was a launch game for it that I wanted to play because I love that Pilot Wings franchise, which, keep that name in mind, I'm going to come back to that in September for reasons I'll explain later, in a couple weeks probably for that. And then the next thing I did, I bought Tails Adventure for the Virtual Console to play because my Game Gear wasn't working. I was like, I want to play my Tails Adventure, and like, yeah, we're using this 3DS system, this new unit that I bought, this new portable device, to show that game off, or to play that game. So like, yeah, I'm using this more futuristic 3D capable portable unit of Nintendo's to play a Game Gear game from 1995. So, yeah, there you go. I guess it goes to my perspective of that. And with that, we are almost done with the countdown, vis-a-vis to the end of this part, and also the end of the show tonight. And when it goes, then I will do the sign-off and all that. And it takes us to a nice 3 hours bout, so that works. Okay, yeah, if you don't beat the Death Egg Robot or any of these things within the time limit, it just stops and goes back to the menu. But yeah, that is Sonic Gems Collection, that is Tails Adventure, and that is vis-a-vis the end of Sonic 2 as well. I'll put this congratulations out, which is what you get when you unlock everything. Not much of a thing for that, but yeah, there you go. So congratulations, I guess, to me. So you're saying, Monteg UK, thank you very much for that, and thank you very much for watching the show tonight. Thank you very much to everybody else in the chat there. I'll be here next week, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Cheers, thanks again. Yeah, thank you very much, and I appreciate that. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend, great week coming forward. I will see you next week for Wave Race 64 for the Nintendo 64. Until then, take care, have a great night, and keep being awesome.